Baron rings. It all comes down to this, Game 7 between the visiting London Lightning and your Halifax Hurricanes. Fans are reminded that for the protection of the players and fans and in a spirit of good sportsmanship, the Halifax Hurricanes request that you refrain from running onto the court or throwing objects at the participants or game officials. We also remind you that any spectator going into the court or immediate court area or interrupting play in any manner will be ejected from the building. Should you require immediate medical attention, please contact a building security officer or a member of the Scotiabank Center event staff for assistance. Hurricane fans, let's say hello to Swish and Mini Swish. Welcome to your Halifax Hurricanes Weather Girls. Time to say hello to our Game 7 opposition, the London Lightning. Here's their starting five. At guard at 6'1" from High Point, North Carolina, number 9, Akeem Scott. At guard at 6'5" from Ottawa, number 10, Warren Ward. At guard at 6'5" from St. Joseph's, number 15, Garrett Williamson. At forward at 6'7" from Cal State Northridge, number 21, Stephen Maxwell. And at guard at 6'4" from the University of Nebraska, number 44, Ryan Anderson. The head coach of the London Lightning is Kyle Julius.
This has nothing to do with last year. This is a whole new year, whole new team.
We've been working extremely hard ever since November, and we've always spoke about this moment.
This year's team is focused, determined.
Best chemistry, everybody gets along. I think it's the best team I ever played on.
I feel great to be with these group of guys. Everybody here is very unselfish.
I feel like it's one of the best teams I've played on in my entire career.
It's going to be an even match, but I think we got to keep them off the offensive boards, play tough defense. That's how we're going to win every game.
You know, they have a lot of great scorers. You just have to match their toughness day in and day out.
Either win or go home. It's a lot more pressure. I think you just got to prepare like it's any other game.
We earned it. Nothing was given to us.
We all came here with a purpose and trying to prove something.
Just ready to go.
Started on my corner like the cold crush, saying live fast and die young is what they told us. The way that they mold us, perfect way they showed us. Showed me how to burn the block down before it slows up, before the window of opportunity closes up.
It's now time to say hello to your Halifax Hurricanes. Starting with the reserves, a forward at 6'8" from Iona, the sixth man of the NBL, number 1, Mike Glover. At forward at 6'7" from Eastern Michigan, number 2, Brandon Bowdry. A shooting guard at 6'4" from the University of Alberta, number 5, Joel Friesen. At guard at 6'2" from Concordia, number 7, Justin Johnson. A Canadian at point guard at 6'1" from Texas Tech, number 8, Ty Nurse. A forward at 6'9" from New Mexico State, number 22, Ronaldo Dixon. And at forward at 6'6" from Dawson, number 23, Kevin Loisel. Now make some noise for your starting five. At point guard at 6'1" from DePaul, number 12, Cliff Glickscales. A point guard at 6'4" from North Carolina State, number 14, Cameron Bitterman. forward at 6'10", from the University of Science and Arts, Oklahoma, number 24, Kyle Hodge. At guard at 6'2", from Sacred Heart, number 25, Sheed Gibson. And at forward at 6'8", from San Diego State, number 32, Billy White. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of your Halifax Hurricanes, Hugo Lopez. The assistant coaches are Raul Rodriguez Perez and Phil Park Jr. LifeMark Physiotherapy, Amy Malcolm Lee. Your 2015-2016 Halifax Hurricanes. Ladies and gentlemen, please remove your hats and stand and join award-winning recording artist Michaela Lynn in the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our sons' command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
I'm joined now by Adam Dechen. And Adam, a 40-game regular season, 3 playoff rounds, and it all comes down to tonight. Game 7 of the NBL Canada Championships on the line. Let's start with the road team, the London Lightning. The Lightning, they were down 3-1 in this series with 2 of the final 3 games to play in Halifax. They managed to come back in dramatic fashion last night with a Stephen Maxwell game winner. What has been the key for London turning around this series, and what do they need to do to win Game 7 tonight?
Well, and I think the biggest keys for the London Lightning is to keep playing that patient basketball that they've been going the whole time. I love the demeanor of this team, the way they warm up, the way they go to the bench.
The officials for tonight's game are Paul Hansen, John Hunt, and Al King.
They play a team
delivering
game. They know when to smartly push the ball in transition.
Joseph Giles,
and they also know
Elementary,
when to slow it down. And their excellent execution, in their half court is really excellent for this team. They look for their shooters when needed. You mentioned they're not a big team, so the dribble penetration is key for them. And they're playing their game. They played 48 minutes on the road yesterday, Alan, and they were just hanging around the whole time. Never got to a 10-point lead.
Fans, if you haven't received a program, drop by the merchandise table and grab a copy.
When they had their chance to finish it at the end, they took that opportunity, and it was a great job yesterday for the London Lightning.
And on the other side, the home team, the Halifax Hurricanes. They've been leading the NBL Canada all season long, but tonight they're without one of their key contributors, starting small forward Joel Friesen. Last night he picked up his 9th unsportsmanlike foul of the season, and that's an automatic 1-game suspension. So Adam, how does this affect the Hurricanes, and how do you expect them to try and replace Joel Friesen's production tonight?
I think the biggest thing for the Hurricanes is they're going to need a little bit more offensive production from Cliff Clinkscales. He had 0 points yesterday. That's not to say he had a bad game. He had 9 assists and 5 rebounds, but he needs to have a little bit of a scoring punch. His averages during the season was around 7 points, 8 assists. so he needs to get at least that to get the scoring punch that Joel Friesen provided. And the other thing, it affects the Hurricanes, offensive flow in that Joel Friesen took 9 3 balls with them yesterday. He was 3 for 9. Does that mean they dribble penetrate more than rely on the 3? See if that changes their offensive strategy. But they started yesterday going inside to Kyle Hunt. We'll see if that's how they start tonight.
Absolutely, and with that tip, we're off. Halifax with the first possession of this ball game. Billy White working inside, and White with a soft touch. That's a mismatch for Billy White. We talked about it all series long. Halifax, a much larger team.
Yeah, and if it's not Kyle Hunt, they did go to Billy White. He was the second option. That was excellent recognition of the matchup off the tip-off.
Akeem Scott, one of the heroes for the Lightning last night, looking for Stephen Maxwell, the other hero.
Out of bounds,
the officials are going to call it Halifax
basketball.
Looked like a double tap on that one, and Halifax will look to get on the board.
So great start for the Hurricanes. Score, stop, score perhaps here. Just what you need. There might be a little bit of nerves to execute this Game 7 in front of your home crowd. To have a successful start would really calm everyone down.
Here is Billy White once again looking to take advantage of that size mismatch with Williamson. Goes to the hoop, and Williamson is forced to foul. Well, Adam, I mean, you don't see London bringing the double team, letting Williamson try and defend White on his own.
Yeah, and White did a great job. He just kept his dribble, 2-3. Sometimes post guys get a little bit antsy in there. They feel like after 3 dribbles, they either got to force one up or kick the basketball. Billy White did 4 or 5 dribbles in there, kept his patience, and now he's rewarded with going to the free throw line.
White knocks down the first, 71% free throw shooter on the season.
And that'll also serve him well on if they do bring the double team. His eyes are up. He's always surveying the scene on balance. He'll be able to kick those out.
Billy White, the masked man who broke his nose 10 days ago, knocks down 2 free throws to get the Hurricanes on the board. Here's Akeem Scott, the dynamic point guard for the London Lightning. Dishes it off to Canadian of the Year, Warren Ward. Ward takes a screen from Maxwell. Kicks it out to Williamson. Good ball movement by the Lightning. Akeem Scott for 3, and that is off. Cliff Clinkscales with a long outlet pass. Nice catch and spin by Kyle Hunt.
What an exciting start for the Hurricanes. 6-0 start. Beautiful spin move from Kyle Hunt, but that was a great close that the Hurricanes didn't panic at Akeem Scott's shot. He was open, but they ran at him. He kind of looked down at the shooter. You could see his eyes at this level, forced him to miss everything.
First team foul.
We're going to get a foul whistled on the Hurricanes. It's against Shane Gibson, his first foul against Halifax. Great crowd here tonight on a Monday night. They're here for Game 7. It's do or die, and there's a lot of excitement in this Scotiabank Center.
I was about to say how good the outlet pass was by Clinkscales on the last play, and London comes with a beauty pocket pass of their own, working the back door. Williamson is a great cutter and a nice finish.
Out of bounds, Hurricanes basketball.
Scott and Williamson hook up to give the London their first points of the night, and it's 6-2 with 10:20 remaining here in the first quarter.
Akeem Scott had a massive night last night, 24 points, 9 assists, doing a little bit of everything for the squad. You mentioned he had a triple-double in Game 2. He's well on his way to achieving those type of effects this weekend, this home set against the Hurricanes.
Here is Cameron Bennerman, who replaced Friesen in the starting lineup. Billy White for 3, and that is good. Billy White showing his scoring touch early on.
Billy White only shot 1 3 yesterday. He was 0 for 1, but he is feeling good right now.
Here's Stephen Maxwell to the hoop. Can't get that one to go, and White gets the defensive board. Hurricanes looking to attack and keep the pressure high on this London Lightning team. Clifford Clinkscales with it now. The longtime Halifax point guard averages nearly 8 assists per game. Bennerman can't knock it down, but Kyle Hunt gathers the offensive board.
London, a little bit of miscommunication there. 3 of their own guys in offensive or defensive rebounding position kicked it out for another O set for the Hurricanes.
Clinkscales looking to set it up. Finds Hunt on the block. Hunt, mismatch against Warren Ward, drives right and gets it to go in the lane. Again, we see the Hurricanes looking to initiate the inside game to begin this one.
And they keep the spacing. They didn't cut in there too quickly. They let Hunt make his move. And we were getting at Hunt a little bit yesterday for fading away perhaps. All of his takes have been very aggressive. His momentum going towards the rack.
There's a turnover. Cliff Clinkscales looks to push, but Warren Ward picks his pocket, going the other way. And it's Garrett Williamson who will head to the line. Looks like Kyle Hunt is going to pick up his first foul of this first quarter.
So that's twice
Hurricanes
now.
foul
The
number
Hurricanes have to
24,
read the
Kyle
scouting
Hunt, his
report on
first
Garrett
second
Williamson.
team
He
foul.
works that baseline. That time he recognized the steal. He ran
Shooting
into
two
a
for
position
London,
on the
number
left
15,
block,
Garrett
left
Williamson.
baseline, where he knew his teammate was going to draw some help. Hunt was late coming over. 2 free throws for Williamson.
As Williamson knocks down the first of 2 free throws, we should remind you guys to reach out. You can use the hashtag NBLC Finals, or you can find myself on Twitter at Allen_April. As Garrett Williamson misses the second, but an offensive rebound by Williamson, that's something the Hurricanes cannot allow to happen with their size advantage.
Well, last night at the end of that game was a perfect example of that. Hurricanes give up the offensive rebound
Hurricanes
at the
foul
end.
number 25,
leads to the
Shane
2
Gibson,
points at the
his
buzzer. The
second,
Lightning
third
win
team
game
foul.
6. This is
Shooting
another
two
guy,
once again
Kyle
for
Hunt,
London,
was
number
involved in
15,
that
Garrett
play
Williamson.
at the end of the game. This time he doesn't look to get a body. I know these guys are athletic and they can sky up and get some rebounds, but you have to be somewhat physical, get somewhat of a block out there if you're Kyle Hunt, because Williamson was coming down hard.
Williamson now has all 4 of the Lightning points in this one. It's 11-4. And he hits the second free throw. So after a 9-point night last night, Garrett Williamson off to a hot start with 5.
He was big in the games in London. He's one of these X-Factor guys. His engine never stops running. He affects the game, whether he's just running his role in the offense or finishing himself.
Inside touch for Kyle Hunt yet again, battling with Maxwell and finishes with that right hook.
Hunt!
And where was the ball, Allen? He kept it high. No chance for the little guy underneath there to strip him. Beautiful post offense.
Akeem Scott with it now. Over to Ward on the left wing. Lightning swinging the ball around the perimeter. Maxwell with it now, and he turns it over. Here comes Billy White, looking for Gibson, and a little bit of miscommunication.
Out of bounds, London
and it looks like
basketball.
Kyle Julius is going to talk things over, call his team's first timeout with 8:06
London
remaining
Lightning
in the
call
first quarter.
timeout.
And you see Billy
The
White here
Halifax
is holding his
Hurricanes would
nose.
like to thank
The
Eastlink and
aforementioned
Eastlink
nose that he
Wireless for
broke
their support
just
this
10 days
season.
ago. White has been a warrior, battling through the broken nose. It can't be easy to breathe with that mask on his face, but he has continued to produce. Had a pretty big game, 10 points last night for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, big start for Billy White. He had a nice hoop on the block there. Had a left wing 3 that he got.
Are you a fan of the game? Tonight we'll be looking for our loudest and proudest fan to move down to the floor to cheer on the team in tonight's Game 7 action. Show your pride this quarter, and we could be moving you and a friend to the floor.
Meanwhile, you mentioned Coach
Fans,
Julius
volunteers
taking
are in the
this one
crowd
early.
tonight selling
I like the
50-50
idea. You're
tickets
down 8,
in
it's
support
not
of
by any
Basketball
chance.
Nova
It's
Scotia,
insurmountable
the under-17
here.
boys
You know, they
who are
got a couple
fundraising
nice
their
looks
way
on
to the
baseline.
Nationals in
They're starting
Winnipeg.
to kind of
Buy
get
now,
more,
buy often,
a little
and
bit
the
more
winning
pressure, I
number
should
will
say,
be
on the
drawn
dribble.
in the
On
third
perimeter,
quarter.
The post entries aren't quite as good. But the biggest thing I think he's going to talk about is Kyle Hunt is trying to seal off around the foul line area. They're getting that over the top pass. They got that last night as well. They're going to have to figure out where they're going to come from underneath to help that out and then rotate out to the shooters. So more of a defensive timeout here. I think the offense will sort itself out for the London Lightning. They're a veteran team. When Halifax had their run yesterday, had the crowd going, had the Lightning on their heels. They never panicked. They just stayed the course. And then by the time the game was ending, they were settled back in and pulled out the win. So great timeout for the Lightning. Hopefully the Hurricanes, like I said, keep things positive, and we'll see how this goes coming out of the TO.
Absolutely, it's do or die. It's Game 7. You can expect these coaches to definitely use all of their timeouts and leave it all on the line. The players as well, they know that after tonight, the season's over no matter what happens. And here we go. It is 13-5 as we come out of this timeout with 8 minutes remaining. Stephen Maxwell at the top of the key dishes it over to Scott. Scott thought about the 3, swings to Williamson, attacks the lane, can't get it to go. Bouncing ball ends up in the hands of Stephen Maxwell. And we saw Stephen Maxwell last night, obviously on the game-winning putback, but all game long he was causing problems for the Hurricanes with his activity inside.
Hurricanes foul
Stephen
number
Maxwell's
24,
an
Kyle
active
Hunt, his
rebounder.
second,
What that
fourth
means
team
is he's
foul.
constantly moving his feet.
Shooting
When
two
that
for
shot
London, number
goes up,
21,
he's trying to
Stephen
see where that
Maxwell.
ball's coming off. You see he has his eyes squarely on the ball. Just when it comes to him, he springs on it. And then as quick as it's in his hands, he's also quick off his feet to get a shot off. And he got clipped by Kyle Hunt.
Maxwell knocks down 2 from the free throw line. He had 21 points and 9 rebounds. None bigger than the game-winning putback last night.
He's credited with 1 offensive rebound on the stat sheet, and it was that one.
Clinkscales dishes it over. Bennerman with it now. Fadeaway on the left block, can't get it to go, and Ryan Anderson gets the defensive board.
Ryan Anderson was also working hard early in that possession, getting in the front of Kyle Hunt. They couldn't get it in there.
Warren Ward has his attempt deflected right back to him, and he knocks down a short jumper in the lane. Warren Ward, the NBL Canada Canadian Player of the Year this season, excellent player at University of Ottawa. What do you like about his game?
Warren Ward is a smooth player. They have to respect his ability to shoot the three-point shot, and he's quick enough off the dribble where he attacks with real skill and has enough length to finish at the rim. So it's an inside-out game that he brings. He really keeps defenses off balance.
Clifford Clinkscales can't get the three to go. As we mentioned, Clinkscales was scoreless last night, 0 for 3 from the field. You think it's important for him to get his offense going tonight?
I think he does have to score, but it has to be within the context of a wide open scenario. What he brings is the distributing factor to the offense. He doesn't need to force anything, but if it comes to him, he certainly can't pass it up.
As there's a turnover and the Hurricanes looking for Hunt inside. He's tripped up by Scott. And they will whistle a foul against Akeem Scott. That's going to be his first personal, second team foul. And here comes the beast. Mike Glover entering the game. Had a big game off the bench last night with 14 points and 4 rebounds. And Glover is just such a dominant presence inside.
We mentioned it. Hunt goes out, Glover comes in. There's no rest for these Lightning players when the Hurricanes make their substitutions. He's a starter quality player on any team in this league.
Billy White catches and finishes. Clinkscales definitely looking to get his bigs involved from the get-go tonight.
And that offensive possession was all earned because Kyle Hunt ran the floor hard to the rim in the last play. He had to get tripped up by Scott.
Scott now dishes to Maxwell, attacks the basket, can't finish, but Garrett Williamson attacking the offensive glass. Williamson now with 7.
Offensive rebounds starting to be a factor here for the Lightning.
Mike Glover now with his first basket inside. You can expect to see a lot of that in this one.
Again, they just feed the beast straight away. Get him a touch, get him involved in the game, get his rhythm going. I like it.
Lightning swinging the ball around the perimeter. This is Williamson. Kicks it out to Ward. Ward with the three-pointer, can't get it to go, and Shane Gibson gets the defensive board for Halifax. Cliff Clinkscales looking to set it up the other way. Hands it off to Gibson, back to Clinkscales. Hesitant to shoot, and the Lightning are going to get whistled on a foul.
That's the indecision I'm talking about, Alan. You know, although Clinkscales did earn the foul on that one, that's a wide open three-point shot. You can't pass that up. A little bit of him thinking he missed the last one. He doesn't want to miss 2 in a row. But when you're that open, straight on shooter, Clinkscales is a pro. We've seen him in the fourth quarter. This is the first. Help out your teammates. Take that shot.
And we're going to see some reinforcements check in for both sides. For the Hurricanes, Justin Johnson and Brandon Bowdry. And for the Lightning, Ed Horton and Marcus Capers coming off the bench. This is Shane Gibson, the three-point assassin, looking for some open space, dishes it off to Bowdry. Bowdry forced to put the shot up, can't get it to go, but that will remain Halifax ball. Actually, they're going to say it was out off Halifax.
A foul on Brandon Bowdry on that one, rebounding foul.
Hurricanes
you mentioned
foul
Justin
number 2,
Johnson
Brandon
checking
Bowdry,
into the
his
game. A
first
lot of people thought with Joel
foul.
Friesen
Now
working down of his
London number
suspension that
14,
Johnson was the
Eric
logical
Kibbe.
choice to sub into the game. But I like the move from Coach Lopez. Get Cameron Bennerman in there, veteran guy, kept the team calm, smooth, composed. They had a great start. Then you bring the scoring punch in with Justin Johnson. That's great coaching.
Ed Horton takes the screen from Eric Kibbe, who just checked into the game. Expect to see him battling with Mike Glover. Nick O'Corey now. He had a big third quarter for the Lightning yesterday. O'Corey for 3, that's off, and Bowdry able to get the defensive board. Justin Johnson brings it the other way for Halifax. Off to Gibson. Back to Johnson. Johnson led the Hurricanes with 26 last night in the loss. Billy White on Ryan Anderson, showing off his handles. Kicks it out to Bowdry. Drives the baseline. Can't get it to go. And we're going to get a jump ball whistle
Also in the
here.
game for London, number 2, Nick O'Corey.
London did well to kind of get
Jump
in there on the
ball,
initial drive for
possession in favor of
Bowdry.
London.
Kind of turned him off there, had a tough extension, couldn't quite get it high enough off the glass. Did well to tie the ball up to Bowdry actually to get his hands on the second effort. With this tie-up, alternating possession going to go.
Now into the game for your Hurricanes, number 23,
It will be
Kevin
Lightning ball, and we're going to
Loisel.
see Kevin Loisel check in for his first action, and you see Halifax here with a little full court pressure.
Well, Kevin Loisel brings energy and activity. He was in there 16 minutes. He used all 6 of his fouls, had 5 rebounds down. He is just an activity guy, tries to take some charges. We'll see if he keeps the energy up for the Hurricanes.
Ed Horton on the right wing. Sends it over to Keeby, off to Anderson. Quick trigger on the 3, and Ryan Anderson. He doesn't need very long with the ball in his hands before he pulls the trigger on those 3-pointers.
Yeah, he's got a great quick release. But if that one missed, there's going to be a little bit of worry in Lightning land, because that's 3 very contested, tough 3-point shots in their last 3 possessions. They're going to need to, affect the Hurricanes, close out a little bit, shot fake, drive that ball. Then it'll open up the perimeter for them.
London foul
right now, they're
14,
very perimeter oriented. Luckily, that 3
foul.
went down, and they're only down in possession, 17-14.
As Eric Keeby picks up his first personal foul, battling with Mike Glover. Inbound to Glover. Off to Gibson, catch and shoot, and can't get it to go, but there will be an offensive foul. Jonathan Hunt whistles Kevin Loisel on the illegal screen.
Offensive foul to the Hurricanes.
Yes, Capers was doing a
23,
great job
Kevin
of moving
Loisel,
his feet, trying to get through the screen for the Lightning. Loisel just wrapped him up. That's a great call.
Ryan Anderson handling point guard duties now for the Lightning. Bit of a different look. And he gives it off to Horton. Looking for Keeby on the screen and roll. That ball's on the ground, and Mike Glover picks it up. Hurricanes looking to push in transition. Johnson with it.
Thought Johnson should have broke that one down. There wasn't any help at the rim there for the Lightning, and he's a great penetrator. A little hesitant.
Mike Glover one-on-one against Keeby, and he's whistled for steps. He doesn't like the call.
Going for traveling London
good defense by
basketball.
Eric Keeby, battling with Glover and forcing him to take an extra step and get whistled for travel.
And Keeby getting a little bit mixed up with Kevin Loisel there after the play that time. A lot of intense emotions.
Well, these teams know each other very well at this point. They've played 6 games over the past 10 days. And Ryan Anderson lets a 3 go, doesn't get it to drop, but the foul is called against Brandon Bowdry, and Anderson's going to go to the line for 3.
Hugo Lopez better be careful right now. That's twice in a row. He's right into the ear of the officials.
Shooting 3 for
he got
London,
clipped
number
on
44,
that one. Bowdry
Ryan
again. I
Anderson.
get it. They're trying to close out hard, but there's a way to do that, and there's a position to place your hand. Instead of trying to guard the face, and kind of affect the vision of Anderson, he got up around the arm and he got called.
Anderson hits the first. He's an 84% free throw shooter on the season, as well as 43% from 3. Talk about a guy who can shoot the rock. And Anderson looking to cut the Hurricanes lead, actually tie it up if he hits this one. It's now 17-16 with 3:22 remaining.
You hear the fans boo when they see the replay on the Jumbotron, but his hand was clearly on the right elbow of Anderson. That's an easy call. The officials in perfect
Returning
position
for your
to catch that
Hurricanes,
one.
number 12, Cliff.
Well, Anderson knocks down all 3 free throws. He's got 6, and we're all tied up at 17. And we see both starting point guards return to action.
Returning for London, number
Akeem
9,
Scott
Akeem
coming in for
Scott.
Anderson, and Cliff Clinkscales coming in for the Hurricanes.
Quick sub for Clinkscales. We'll see if he settles himself in, sees the game a little bit, what the offense is going to give him.
Should mention Brandon Bowdry out there with 2 personal fouls against. Bowdry now working against Horton on the block. And he goes up and he'll go to the line. Well, that's one of those size advantages. Brandon Bowdry at 6'7", Ed Horton
London foul to number 2, Nick
listed at
O'Corey,
6'2",
his
but
first 15
probably
foul.
6 feet tall. And Bowdry looking to take advantage of that.
Stephen Maxwell.
Well, you
returns
mentioned
for
how
London.
Bowdry's out there with 2 personal fouls.
Shooting 2
The
for the
philosophy
Hurricanes,
Coach
number
Lopez
2,
takes is
Brandon
if these
Bowdry.
substitutes are in there and they have fouls, whether it be Loisel or Bowdry, for example, he's going to let them foul, use their fouls, go out there, mix the game up. He's not worried about that. He's worried about the minutes for his players that he wants in the rotation when it's crunch time. It's a coaching philosophy he's used, a lot in the games I've watched this season, and it's worked out for this Hurricane squad. They have a great record, and now they're sitting here 1 win away from the finals.
As Bowdry misses them both, but Kevin Loisel with a big offensive board. Justin Johnson lines up a 3 and gets it to drop. Justin Johnson picking up where he left off yesterday. He had 26 to lead all scorers yesterday, and he's on the scoreboard today.
Nice rotation on that shot from Johnson. He only took 2 threes all yesterday. He should have hit one of them. That's a big first quarter to see that go down for him.
Horton drives. Looks like that was deflected by Bowdry into the hands of Capers. 5 on the shot clock. O'Corey's got to put it up. Can't draw iron. And Halifax will go the other way. Clinkscales with it now, tightly guarded by Okori. Glover on the block. Battling with Maxwell for position. Back out to Clinkscales, pulls the trigger on a three, and he gets it to go. Well, we talked about it. Cliff Clinkscales scoreless yesterday. It's got to do a lot for his confidence to see that shot drop.
He's a veteran player. He sat down on the bench and said, I can't be passing those ones up. As soon as the ball was in his hands that time, there was no hesitation, and he buried it.
Out of bounds,
Horton airballs the shot, but they're going to say it was deflected out off boundary, and that will remain Lightning ball. And the Lightning going to see Ryan Anderson and Garrett Williamson check back in, replacing Marcus Capers and Ed Horton. So both coaches substituting a lot early on in this one.
And you got to remember the short turnaround here as well, Alan. There's going to be some more minutes saving here. I'm sure the bench will get a lot shorter down the stretch.
Out of bounds, Hurricanes basketball.
On the inbounds that time, and it'll go right out for Hurricanes possession. Clinkscales really feeling it now. Can't get that three to go. Both teams battling for the rebound, and it will be Halifax ball out of bounds.
Basketball.
Yeah, Klink feeling him maybe a little too good, but I like it. He's going to have to put his leadership on this game. Nice second effort there for the Hurricanes. Knocked that ball around, ended up going off the Lightning.
Clinkscales inbounds to Loisel. Tightly defended by Williamson, loses him. Loisel, nice drive, but he just can't finish, and that's going to be a foul against Halifax. First foul of the game against Mike Glover.
And that should put London to
Hurricanes
the line
foul to number one, Mike Glover. His
now that's
first.
18 fouls now against the Hurricanes.
Hurricanes in the
I
penalty.
believe Williamson will go to the line to shoot too. Halifax up 23-17 with 1:46 remaining in the first quarter.
You know, you see Halifax do that sometimes. They try to foul to stop the offensive transition break when the other team has numbers.
Shooting
but
two
it didn't
from
look like
London,
that might have been
number 15,
intentional
Garrett
there for
Williamson.
Glover. Nonetheless, it's a costly foul. Free trips to the line for the road team, always welcome.
Williamson on the line. Misses the first on the season. He's a 68% free throw shooter. And he's actually 3 of 5 now from the stripe in this game, leading the Lightning with 7 points. Williamson gets the second to go, cuts the Halifax lead to 5, 23-18 with 1:40 to play.
Closing quarter is so important in the playoffs, Alan. People sometimes don't think about that in the first, but we'll see who gets the better of these 2 minutes here.
Glover on the block, stripped by Ryan Anderson. Nice play by the undersized Anderson. Williamson in transition, can't get it to go, but he'll go right back to the free throw line. Well, Garrett Williamson better start paying rent because he's spending a lot of time on the free throw line in this
Hurricanes
first quarter.
foul number 2,
Yeah, he's
Brandon
getting
Maudry,
free
his
trips
third.
from the Halifax Hurricanes. A little bit unfortunate Williams couldn't finish that one. Anticipated
Shooting two
maybe a
for
little
number
heavier
15,
contract
Garrett
from
Williamson.
Maudry than he received. We'll see if he settled into the line here now after the previous trip.
Williamson knocks down that one. He's now got 9 points to lead all scorers. 5 of 7 from the free throw line. And gets that one to go. Great start for Garrett Williamson, the 6'5 shooting guard out of St. Joseph's. Clinkscales looking to answer for the Hurricanes. Finds Loisel on the block. Loisel guarded by Akeem Scott. Scott strips it away and wrestles the ball from Loisel.
Jump ball.
Going to get a jump ball, and it will be Halifax possession. But how about Akeem Scott, the shortest man on the court, taking that challenge from Kevin Loisel?
All he knows, his only chance is he has to have a nose for the basketball. Kevin Loisel really got low dribble, made that available to him. And Scott got in there.
Turnover on the inbounds from Clinkscales. Williamson, here comes Maxwell, and he finishes with the reverse.
Maxwell.
Not quite the explosive fireworks we saw yesterday, but Stephen Maxwell, such a tremendous finisher around the rim.
Stephen Maxwell had a tremendous jam, one of the best jams you'll see in the NBL all season yesterday. But that time he knew it's the playoffs. He's laying that one in. Meanwhile, a little bit of worry for the Hurricanes. Back-to-back turnovers.
Dowdry with it now in the left corner. Deed up by Anderson. Cross court to Clinkscales. Clinkscales drives, puts it up, and that will be a 24-second violation.
Hurricanes go
really
for a
good team defense here by the Lightning.
Violation, London basketball.
So once again, you look at it. Last 2 minutes come. Hurricanes
Returning
turn
for the
it over
Hurricanes,
a couple
number 14,
times. A couple
Cameron
quick
Bitterman.
buckets from the Lightning, getting out in transition, getting to the free throw line. This is a 1-point ball game. Hurricanes have a chance to take the lead here.
Score is 23-22 with 35 seconds remaining. Lightning looking to end this quarter on a positive note. Scott off to Williamson, to Maxwell. That is just such a great play, and Steven Maxwell is a great finisher when he catches the ball going towards the rim.
Well, London spaces so well, Alan, that there's no one really on that side to drop down and help. The Hurricanes are worried about Ryan Anderson shooting on that side of the floor. They send the cutter to his side. Bennerman sticks with Anderson instead of dropping to help, and another jam for the Lightning.
This is Bennerman for three, can't get it to go. Glover looking to answer with a tip in at the buzzer, much like Maxwell yesterday, but he could not get that one in. And after the first 12 minutes,
your Halifax
the London Lightning
23
end the quarter on a 7-0 run, and they are up 24-23.
So how good does that got to feel if you're the London Lightning? You go from being a little bit on the ropes there. Hurricanes have a huge early start. The fans get behind them, and the same thing as London did all day yesterday. They stayed the course. They dug in on defense. They increased their perimeter pressure. All of a sudden, the post touches weren't coming as freely for the Hurricanes, or if they were far off the block. They started to force some turnovers once the Hurricanes got tight. And then Lightning, we mentioned, they choose when to get out in transition and when to run their half-court stuff. Garrett Williamson was superb in both activity on the glass and getting himself out running on the right wing. London did everything right to kind of pick their spots in that first quarter, and they're rewarded with the lead on the road in a Game 7 championship.
Yeah, Williamson with a huge first quarter, 10 points, 6 of 8 shooting from the free throw line. Actually, Williamson, Maxwell, and Anderson have combined for 22 of the 24 London points. So the big three for them are producing like expected. On the Hurricane side, Billy White with a strong start, 9 points on 3 of 3 shooting.
I'll tell you what, Alan, you take a quick look at the stat sheet here. 9 turnovers for the Hurricanes in one quarter. They only had 14 all of yesterday. Playoff
Hurricanes fans, it's BJ from
possession
Q104. I thought you might like to meet the fans of the game tonight. This is Nathan and his dad Sean. We moved them down here because they're here every single game, cheering on their Halifax Hurricanes. Nathan, who's your favorite player? Mike Glover. How could he not be? And I thought that you might also like to get a look at what Hurricanes fans look like. Check out Dad over here. The guns are out tonight, baby. We got
absolutely, as we mentioned. This is it. 40-game regular season, 3 playoff rounds. And it all comes down to tonight. Game 7 with the NBL Canada Championship Trophy on the line. And those championship rings brought to you by Barron Championship Rings. Gotta plug the sponsor. So these two teams return to the court for the second quarter. What adjustments do you expect Halifax to make to slow down the Lightning after that red-hot end to the first quarter?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is they got to slow them down on the glass. The Lightning have 5 offensive rebounds to start this basketball game, doing everything a road team is supposed to do. You know you're going to need some extra possessions. You're not shooting it in your gym. Halifax can't afford to keep giving that up. That's a major factor.
And here's Williamson, drives baseline, big denial by Billy White, but Johnny on the spot, Steven Maxwell, able to catch it and put it back home.
Tremendous hands at the top from Billy White, but Maxwell didn't get rattled by the bodies flying around. He looked up, saw the rim with his hang time, and finished that. He's battling hard down low with Glover now in the denial.
Here's Clinkscales looking for White. White with that mismatch against Garrett Williamson, gets him to the ground, cross court to Bennerman for 3, and Cameron Bennerman. Well, he is stepping up big, filling Joel Friesen's spot in the starting lineup and getting his first 3 to drop in this one.
Yeah, that's his first basket of the game period. Bennerman was 0 for 3 in the first quarter, and we're going to have an offensive foul here. Moving screen there from Steve Maxwell.
London foul.
That's going to be the first personal against Steven Maxwell.
Foul.
First team foul of the second quarter. It's 26-26 with 11:05 remaining in the second quarter. Hurricanes looking to take this lead and really keep this energy in the Scotiabank Center. A great crowd for Game 7. Bennerman inside for White. White catches, blocked by Ryan Anderson. Ball ends up in the hands of Mike Glover. Glover can't get it to go, but he'll go to the free throw line. And Mike Glover, well, he made a living yesterday down low and at the free throw line with 14 points. And he's going right back there now.
Does a nice seal there by White. You mentioned they're
Shooting two
looking
for
for
the
that
Hurricanes,
over the
number
top
one,
pass.
Mike Glover,
Klink
returning
led him a
for
little
London,
too
number
far.
one,
He ended
Ed
up catching
Horton.
that under the rim, having to pull it back, gave Anderson time to recover for the initial block. Unfortunately, his teammates couldn't corral the rebound off of his block shot, and Glover's going to get 2 free throws. That's going to be Anderson's second personal foul. This would be a little tricky here if you're Coach Julius as well. 10:47 left in the second quarter. Ryan Anderson fouled out late last night, took away an offensive option for them. That'll be in his mind here when he contemplates substitution.
Glover gets the first free throw to go. He's got 3 points in this one. Make it 4 as the Hurricanes take a 2-point lead, 28-26. Akeem Scott setting things up for his Lightning. Scott, the floor general, the heart and soul of this Lightning organization. Williamson now, he's going to take the baseline jumper and he knocks it down.
Williamson.
12 points now for Garrett Williamson, and we're back tied up at 28. Hurricanes once again going to Billy White on that left block. Cross court to Bennerman, down low to Glover. Glover working against Maxwell, kicks it out to Clinkscales, 8 on the shot clock. Justin Johnson drives, deflected out, will remain Hurricanes ball, but only 5 seconds on the shot clock.
That's 2 post touches on either block for the Hurricanes, 1 to White, 1 to Glover. Lightning managed to get them to kick that basketball out. Now a late clock scenario for Halifax to deal with.
Clinkscales, well, the Hurricanes have had some problems on that baseline inbounds. We saw it yesterday and today. That time they will get bailed out by the foul call.
London foul to number 9.
Yeah,
Akeem
Scott was
his
getting
second,
underneath of Billy
foul.
White on that one. That's his second personal as well. So the guards in the backcourt there for the Lightning in a little bit of foul trouble.
Clinkscales and Billy White get it to go that time. As Billy White able to put in the alley-oop, and White now has 11 of his own. Billy White and Garrett Williamson really carrying the scoring load for their respective teams. Maxwell in the lane, can't catch that one cleanly, but it will remain Lightning ball. 11 seconds on the shot
London
clock.
basketball.
Good ball pressure initially from Bennerman up around half court, but then Anderson turned the corner there. Maxwell just got that knocked out of his hands. That was a nice roll.
Scott to inbound, finds Maxwell. Over to Williamson, 8 on the shot clock. Ryan Anderson looking for space, drives, dishes, can't connect with Maxwell, and Clinkscales brings it the other way. Clinkscales, Billy White with it now, working against Williamson, turns it over, and Akeem Scott coming the other way. And that is a foul in the open court as Bennerman saw the Lightning had numbers and wrapped up Akeem Scott.
So there's that strategy they
Hurricanes
go to
foul
once
number
again.
14,
This time it's a little more
Cameron
manageable as
Bennerman,
that's telling
his
Halifax's
first
first
team
personal foul in the second quarter. I was just watching the interaction there between Coach Julius and the officials.
Returning
There's
from
that
London,
looking
number
for some
2,
of those same holding
Nick
calls
O'Corey,
that
number
London's
10,
getting called for
Warren
at this
Ward.
end. Although their size advantages, they're holding on maybe a little bit more, try to deal with Halifax's big guys. But we'll see if that becomes a theme here if the defense really tightens up, how this one goes for both squads.
As we see the 2 Lightning players with 2 fouls check out of the game, O'Corey and Horton replace them. Williamson for 3, that is well short. Ends up in the hands of Cliff Clinkscales, long outlet, connects with Billy White, great catch, adjustment, and finish by Billy White, and he has 13 points now. What a start for Billy White.
Billy White is really taking advantage of his length and athleticism. Not only is he long, but he has some leaping ability as well. I'm going to say it though, Alan. Garrett Williamson
Hurricanes
needs a
foul
blow
number
here from
12,
the London
Cliff
Lightning.
Clinkscales,
That
his
shot
first
is
second
woefully
team foul.
short. He had a tough time getting
Returning
back.
for your
defensive
Hurricanes, number
transition there. I
25,
know it's game
Shane
7, but they're going to
Gibson.
need him late. You can tell the look in his face, hands on his hips right now.
And we still haven't seen Akeem Wright, who's one of the natural backups for Williamson there. Akeem Wright did not play in game 5, played sparingly last night. We'll see if he checks into this one. Warren Ward lines up a 3, can't get it to go. Billy White skies for the defensive board.
That's a good pin screen there from Maxwell to spring Ward. Got to knock that down.
Shane Gibson puts it up. His first shot of the game is a long 2. But shooter Shane Gibson, you know he loves that 3. And right on cue, Akeem Wright to check in for the Lightning.
So Williamson again gets himself out on the wings in transition. Halifax has to know he
Hurricanes
works
foul
those
number
outside
32,
lanes
Billy
very
White,
well.
his first
That's
third
another
team
one that
foul.
maybe he could have made.
Now in the
Fatigue
game for
might be
London
a
number
factor.
25, Akeem Wright.
He seems to be favoring the contact more. He's
Shooting
got to go
two
up
for
on
London,
strong,
number 15,
rise
Garrett
up,
Williamson.
finish that one. But nonetheless, Williamson going to the line for free throws 7 and 8 here in this game. No, 9 and 10, excuse me, Alan, just updated.
Yeah, 9 and 10 as Williamson now with 13 points. Halifax leads by 5, 34-29 with 8:30 remaining in the first half. Williamson can't get the second to go, but gets his own offensive rebound. That's the second time we've seen him do that.
And that's how much
That's
of a warrior
too many
Garrett
steps.
Williamson is. As much as he's
Hurricanes
struggling,
basketball.
He's going to give his all for his team. He was absolutely fatigued from his efforts in the games in London, and he still had a great impact. I didn't mean that was going to hold back his game, just talking about his grit and effort.
Absolutely. Garrett Williamson, an alumni of Lower Merion High School in Philadelphia, where the great Kobe Bryant went. So you know that, well, they teach tough basketball at Lower Merion. As Mike Glover, talk about tough basketball, battling on the block with Akeem Wright. Wright forced to foul.
London foul number
Glover's
25,
not keeping his
Akeem
eye
Wright,
up
his
too much, though.
first
Shane
fourth team
Gibson had a
foul.
pretty good space on the perimeter there. Glover just really dedicated to the back down. Akeem Wright with a heavy armbar that time. Gets called for the foul. That's London's fourth.
Glover turns it over. Here comes Nick O'Corey with a little showtime for the fans. And I'm sure there's a bunch of fans back in London at the Boston Pizza. Shout out to those guys. I hear they have a great crowd. Of course, London Lightning fans love their franchise and hope that they win their third NBL Canada Championship today.
Mike Glover with another turnover there. He can't handle that pass inside.
Out of bounds, London basketball,
Having
returning
a
for
tough
your
stint here.
Hurricanes, number
Right away,
24,
he's going to go to the
Kyle
bench. Nice
Hunt.
substitution for Coach Lopez. Glover has to collect himself. He has 4 turnovers on the night. Visibly frustrated.
As the Lightning have cut the lead to 3 here, 34-31, 7:40 remaining in the first half. Ed Horton going to run the offense now for the Lightning. Takes a screen from Akeem Wright. Shane Gibson looking for a steal, and he catches the arm of Wright.
I'm with you, Alan. I like the substitution of Akeem Wright. He's a bigger body. He's more of an effective screener than Steve Maxwell.
Hurricanes foul to number 25, Shane Gibson.
You can tell
his
how
third,
he set up on that
team
last
foul.
one. And finally, Garrett Williamson gets a well-deserved rest. Ryan Anderson checking in.
Yeah, you can see Williamson walking very slowly to the bench, but he will be back shortly, and, well, they need him. He's already got 13 points to lead the Lightning. Anderson in the right corner, catch and shoot, and knocks down
Ryan Anderson
another
for
triple.
three.
Anderson with 9 now. It doesn't matter if you're in his face. He needs so little space to get that 3 off. And then Anderson with a great job defending Billy White, able to force the offensive foul.
to the Hurricanes.
Billy
Number
White
32,
couldn't have been
Billy
any
White,
closer
his
to guarding
second,
Anderson in the right
15
wing
foul.
that time. Had the shot hit in his face. He really wanted this back down. You see he extends the arm on that one. That's what got him. You see the lower arm into the chest of Ryan Anderson, dug in to draw that charge. Watch his lower left arm there. Yeah, it really gets him good. And you can see he nodded right away. He talked to the official, said, okay, I understand what I have to do.
All tied up here in the second quarter of Game 7 of the NBL Canada Championship Finals. Warren Ward, the Canadian Player of the Year, off to Akeem Wright. Wright, oh, beautiful spin and finish around Kyle Hunt.
Wright.
What a take by Akeem Wright.
I'll tell you what Akeem Wright's doing is he's making a little more contact with the guard that he's screening, forcing Kyle Hunt.
Oh,
Justin
sorry to interrupt the Hurricanes
and
with
one.
a beautiful play. You see Cliff Clinkscales usually delivering those lobs to their big men. This time it's Justin Johnson cutting backdoor, catching
London foul
and
to number
finishing
2, Nick
for
O'Curry,
the
his second
opportunity for a
15
3-point
foul.
play. See on the replay
Returning
here,
for your
what a
Hurricanes,
catch
number
and finish
2,
by
Brandon
Johnson.
Bowdry.
Skills made that pass from the blue paint of half court. Impressive pass, even better finish with contact
Justin
from
Johnson
Justin
has
Johnson.
one shot.
Just to finish that last play on the offensive end for the Lightning, the effective screen from the big man there, Wright, forces Kyle Hunt to hedge more. He's doing a good job of hedging high, but when he runs back and the Lightning move the ball a little bit quicker, Wright knew he had to step on the recovering Hunt and managed to get the finish.
Nick O'Corey with a tough take in the lane, can't get it to go. Justin Johnson with the rebound. Clinkscales looking to push. Defended by Anderson. Anderson applying a little bit of pressure. Clinkscales looking for Billy White, and White is hauled down by Warren Ward. That's going to be a foul against Ward.
Yeah, White digging right back in. He's not discouraged after the last offensive foul. Warren Ward has to realize when you have Billy White 2-3 steps outside of the paint, you can almost let him catch that. You don't need to burn the foul there that time. Now, London's one team foul away from being into the penalty. Be more selective in your physical play, although he earns it right back.
Yet another turnover off the baseline inbound. Hurricanes have to figure that out, as Akeem White coming the other way is fouled and will go to the line. The Hurricanes, that's 3 or 4 turnovers now off baseline inbounds. Those are such valuable opportunities.
And those should be the most well-rehearsed things.
Number 32,
your
Billy
inbounder
White,
is the
his
guy
third
who makes those right
foul.
decisions. He feels
Shooting
comfortable
2 for
with
London, number 25, Akeem Wright.
London is just kind of in the shirts of the Rainmen a little bit. The Hurricanes, I'm going to do that a couple times, apologies, but their defensive pressure has caused Halifax to be unsure where they want to throw the pass to, both in live play and on the inbounds plays, and their turnovers are really piling up into the double digits here in the first half. And we mentioned again, I'll repeat, only 14 turnovers yesterday in a 48-minute game. Wasn't terrible for Halifax. They're on pace for double that at least in this game.
14 turnovers by Halifax right now.
Right now, there
so
you
they
go.
have equaled yesterday's turnovers. As Akeem Wright can't get either of the free throws to go, here comes Clinkscales out to White. Thought about a 3, decides to give it back to Clinkscales, run some clock. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Clinkscales against Wright. Off to Bowdry. Bowdry drives left, dishes, but there's going to be a foul away from the ball. It's a turnover traveling on Brandon Bowdry in the lane.
Hunt relying a little bit too much on the seal from behind.
The Halifax Hurricanes would like to thank the following sponsors: Amy Lee and Lifemark Physiotherapy, official physiotherapy services for the Halifax Hurricanes. Killam Properties, official home of your Halifax Hurricanes. Delta Hotels, official hotel partner of your Hurricanes.
Well, Adam,
Emily Cohen, barrister and solicitor, official immigration lawyer of your Halifax Hurricanes.
And we're getting shout-outs from fans all across the world.
Official chef of your Hurricanes.
Obviously, there's a big contingent at the Boston Pizza in London. Shout out to you guys.
Halifax Hurricanes.
But we've got a lot of
Steel
fans
Auto
here.
Group.
We've got
Erickson.
fans watching in Spain.
And special
We've
thanks
got
to
fans
Eastlink
watching
and
across the
Eastlink
United
Wireless
States,
for their continued
in
support.
Ecuador. Shout out to everybody watching all across the world, and thank you for enjoying this tremendous NBL Canada action. Talk about a great product in the finals for this league.
This series has been a true showcase of what the NBL Canada is all about. There's some homegrown talent.
Don't forget to tweet your photos from tonight's game with the hashtag Hurricane Force. You just might see yourself on our Jumbotron. And fans, don't forget to drop by the merchandise outlet on the floor. We've got long sleeve and short sleeve shirts for adults and kids. And if you're getting ready for summer, grab a Hurricanes cap. Show Halifax your Hurricanes playoff pride. Tonight, no tax on merchandise. Let's go, Hurricanes!
Rounds. There were some wars, some legendary classic NBL games, and now this Hurricanes in their inaugural season under this banner have a chance to pull down another type of banner and bring home the gold, and as you mentioned, those coveted championship rings.
Absolutely, this Halifax franchise in their first year as the Hurricanes, but really pro basketball has been in Halifax for 10 years now. The team has come very close to a championship 3 times, but has yet to hoist that championship trophy. And it will be a huge thing for basketball in Halifax and basketball in Atlantic Canada. We should mention all 4 NBL Canada championships to this point have been won by Ontario teams. So Halifax looking to become the first Atlantic team to win the NBLC championship.
Well, they have the lead now, Alan. They're going to have to clean up the turnovers after that timeout. We'll see that. But the defensive end, they're hanging in there. 36-point for the Lightning. They're holding them down.
Warren Ward for 3, and what a response from London out the timeout. Gives them a 2-point lead, 39-37. Warren Ward, the London, Ontario native, product of the University of Ottawa.
Better rhythm that time for Ward, straight up and down, got good lift. He was fading on a few of his threes. That's a nice one for him.
Clinkscales looking for Hunt down low, fronted nicely by Akeem Wright. Hunt now brings the screen. Clinkscales drives, has to fade away, finds Loisel, but that will be a 24-second violation. Really good defense by London, and Akeem Wright preventing the post touch by Kyle Hunt.
Well, you see once again, Kyle Hunt didn't put any effort. He didn't, try to get the seal low on Wright. He didn't try to get around front. the Hurricanes got the switch with Clinkscales trying to attack right off the dribble. Once the ball screen came, the right moved his puppies well, kept him in front.
Came right that time, turns it over. Justin Johnson brings it the other way. Johnson, pull up, can't get it to go, right with the defensive board.
Big impact on the game for number 25 so far.
Yeah, Keem Wright, we mentioned, didn't play Game 5, played sparingly in Game 6, but he is making his presence felt. Going to get a post touch right now against Clinkscales. Right. Pushing Clinkscales back, can't get it to go. And here comes Halifax and Justin Johnson. Johnson, shake and bake, turns. What a move by Justin Johnson in the key, finishing with the right hand.
Need something at a nothing there. Coach Julius upset because that's a 0 pass possession for the Hurricanes that they still scored on. Defensive help could have got established.
Warren Ward, another 3, can't get that to go. Hunt skies for the defensive board. Halifax looking to take a lead. We're all tied up at 39 with 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Johnson dishes it off to Loisel. That's out of bounds, but it will remain Hurricanes possession. And here comes the big 2 in this one for London. Garrett Williamson and Stephen Maxwell. I mean, those two so far have combined for 21 points. Meanwhile, on Halifax's side, we're going to see one of their Canadians, Ronaldo Dixon, check in for the first time. Dixon didn't play yesterday.
This will be interesting to see how he settles in. He got to watch the better part of, 6 quarters now. Sometimes that can be good for you. Sometimes that can work against you with a little bit of rust. We'll see how he works.
Well, Dixon has a mismatch against Ed Horton, a good 8 or 9 inches against Horton. Here's Justin Johnson with the step back, can't get it to go. Stephen Maxwell with another defensive board.
That was great bench minutes in this last stretch, we should acknowledge, for the Lightning. Now they come right back in with Maxwell.
Stephen Maxwell looking to put another Hurricanes defender on the poster. Little more help, and Ronaldo Dixon going to send him to the line, but Maxwell, such an explosive leaper. You can see the replay that time, nearly dunked on a couple of Hurricanes.
What a pass. Williamson 7th team foul. Kept a straight line dribble, never really turned his head whatsoever. 2-hand pass kind of through the shoulder. Hit him right in rhythm.
Correction was to number 22, Ronaldo Dixon, his first.
And Stephen Maxwell is going to go to the free throw line where he's a 79% shooter on the season. Can't get the first to go. Becoming a bit of a problem in this one. The Lightning now 12 of 18 from the free throw line. That's uncharacteristic for them.
And again, if you're getting those trips to the line, there's a reason they're still tied or just within one of the Rainmen here. Despite the 14 turnovers, despite getting to the line, feeling like they're having some success, London's having a hard time putting the ball in the hole. When you get a chance for some free points on the road, you absolutely need those. That's essential stuff.
As that shot no good, Anderson comes the other way. Off to Akeem Scott with a burst of steam, looking for Williamson, back to Maxwell, and what a finish
Stephen
that time by
Maxwell.
Stephen Maxwell. So athletic, such good body control down low.
There is Maxwell again. So we have a horn here. They inbounded the ball. The players didn't stop playing. There is no whistle. So there's going to be a travel on this one.
Wow, I think Halifax was trying. Hugo Lopez called for the timeout. Veteran official Al King is going to come to the table to discuss, and we can see on either side of him you got Akeem Scott and Hugo Lopez pleading their case as we see another replay of that finish by Maxwell. But here we go. Clinkscales, he definitely travels, but did Hugo Lopez call the timeout first is the question.
I'll tell you, Alan, regardless of whether or not this timeout was in there on time with the coaching staff, or with the table, excuse me, you have to play the whistle. If you're a player, you shouldn't be put in this position. This is not on the table. This is not on the officials. This is on the players. If you don't hear a whistle, play the game.
Absolutely, as the officials huddle at the scorer's table to try and figure this one out. They're going to talk to the coaches here.
So we're going to get a decision here. They just consulted with the table. They're bringing both coaches to center.
Going to see another replay
Watch,
here.
Dixon puts it into Clinkscales. He sees the horn, just kind of walks with it. Players stop playing. Nobody blows their whistle.
Akeem Scott comes flying into the picture calling for a travel. Such an aware player out there. And they're giving the ball to Lightning. So The original call will stand. It was a travel. Timeout not granted to Hugo Lopez.
As it should be. And you know, as a coach, and you know your team's kind of on the ropes
London
a little
basketball.
bit, and you're a player, veteran player, you know, see, that's the thing when Dixon is not playing. His head is not in the game. You know if your team's on the ropes, maybe leave that ball. Don't pick it up right away. Don't inbound it right away if you see your coach go into the table. That's players' mistakes on the court.
Akeem Scott tries his hand at a three. That is well off, nothing but air. And the Hurricanes come the other way, looking to cut into this 3-point deficit. Johnson over to Clinkscales. He's going to slow it down, set something up. Back to Johnson. Dixon in the high post, looking for Hunt in the low post, and Hunt catches and finishes. Kyle Hunt just too tall for the London defenders.
Great job by Kyle Hunt. He kept that ball up in the diamond position, right at his chin, had his elbows out. No one was going to steal that. High finish.
Williamson with a tough take and finish. 15 now for Garrett Williamson. He is really feeling it today. Had just 9 yesterday, but 15 in the first half for the St. Joseph's product. What a finish.
Johnson.
They're going to count that one. Actually, they're going to talk about it, but Justin Johnson takes a hit, and they're going to count the basket. Justin Johnson going to the line for a 3-point play to tie this up at 44.
Great job. You just see Williamson kind of lose his footing, ended up blowing up the lower body of Justin Johnson. He still did his great job to keep his eyes on the glass. Finished that one high and strong. Nice play here. Halifax can tie the game with this free throw.
Johnson does just that. That's 11 points now in the first quarter for Johnson. So the Stars are out to play tonight. Some high first half point totals from both teams.
Cameron
We're going to see Marcus Capers check in now for the Lightning, the defensive stopper, as well as Cameron Bennerman, the veteran small forward, in for the Hurricanes.
Billy White's been out a long time here, Al. Not sure if it's foul trouble for him. He does have 3. He did take an early knock in the nose. He might be getting himself prepared for a second half run.
Williamson dishes it over to Anderson, catch and shoot, and that one just short, but I'll tell you, every time Ryan Anderson shoots the 3, I think it's going to go.
That was on line, just a little short.
Johnson, high post touch for Dixon, swings it to Bennerman, a 3 of his own, can't get it to go. Ball ends up in the hands of Kyle Hunt, and he will be fouled and go right back to the line. Kyle Hunt, very active on the inside.
This is a great adjustment from game to game for Kyle
London foul number 21, Stephen Maxwell, his second.
You can tell he's asking the coach and staff, what can I do differently game to game? Last game, he was taking these low dribbles 2-3 times when he had it in the paint.
Kyle Hunt.
No need. He realized he is inside position, inside that charge circle, whether it's on a catch or whether it's on an offensive rebound. And he's not even dribbling at all. He's just going up strong and finishing. And the little guys in London Lightning they're always trying to hack and get a touch. And when he's not dribbling it, they're hitting his arms. That's why he's going to the foul line. Very heady basketball from number 24, Kyle Hunt.
Hunt can't knock down the first. On the season, a respectable 67% free throw shooter knocks down the second. And, well, the Hurricanes with a 1-point lead, 45-44 with 1:35 remaining in the first half. Akeem Scott thought about a 3, decides against it, waits for the screen from Capers. Great active hands by Ronaldo Dixon, and what a pass by Clinkscales to Dixon for the flush, and the crowd goes wild. Great crowd at the Scotiabank Center, and they are appreciating that play by Clinkscales.
A little too much patience on the perimeter for Scott on the last play. Hurricanes aggressed straight on him as they should. They're on him again.
A lot of pressure D here from Halifax. Stephen Maxwell in the lane, can't get it to go. Johnson with the defensive rebound, and the Hurricanes crowd smells blood with a 3-point lead under a minute remaining in the first half. Dixon, long 2, knocks it down. Well, talk about production off the bench for Ronaldo Dixon. Didn't play yesterday, a quick 4 points in this one.
Ronaldo Dixon, Cam Bennerman, earlier Brandon Bowdry, bringing key minutes for guys that don't play a lot or at least didn't yesterday.
And another steal. Anderson turns it over. Bennerman gets the steal, and Anderson with a quick foul. That's going to be number 3 against Anderson. Keep an eye on that. And Bennerman will go to the free throw line. Hurricanes on a quick 6-0 lead with the opportunity to stretch it to 8.
Well, if Anderson didn't foul there's about to be another massive throwdown. Even though the Hurricanes are going to the line, you see Clinkscales get held up there.
London number 10,
Dixon was going to light up another. Well, that was the previous play. They tried to foul Clinkscales actually, but there was going to be another dunk. Hurricanes had 3 guys out in front.
shoot it 2 for
So
the
this kind of
Hurricanes.
slows
Number
things down
14,
for the Lightning.
Cameron Bitterman.
35.7 seconds. Regardless what happens with these free throws here, the London have to go down, use some clock, get a good quality shot, and then settle in for one last defensive possession to go into halftime. But meanwhile, the Hurricanes, and you see them trying to get their fans fired up, Alan. They got to take advantage of this run. I keep cutting you off. I apologize.
It's okay. Bennerman knocks down 2. Halifax on an 8-0 run to potentially end the first half, rather. And Clinkscale's trying to fire up the Halifax faithful. Williamson off to Maxwell. Maxwell looking for a guard. Finds Anderson. Pulls the trigger on a 3. That is well long. And with 15 seconds remaining in the second quarter, Halifax will hold for the last shot. I always expect Justin Johnson to take these. Johnson with the ball at the top of the key. Makes a move on Anderson. Pulls the 3. And that one will roll in. What a shot. Used every part of the rim. And that will end the first half. The Hurricanes end the half on an 11-0 run. Justin Johnson with the big 3. And the Lightning have got to be frustrated with how they ended that first half.
Well, Alan, we mentioned the last 2 minutes of the first quarter going the London Lightning's way. Halifax wasn't going to let that happen this time. They realized they wanted to go into halftime with momentum, keep this crowd alive, keep them fired up. There's no nerves in the building right now. Everyone feels comfortable with the Hurricanes' effort. That's because that 11-0 run came at a key time going into the locker room. That 3 from Justin Johnson goes down to make it 11-0 because Cam Bennerman denied Ward on the previous defensive possession. They wanted to give it to Ward one-on-one to attack him. Bennerman denied excellently on the reversal. Justin Johnson was in the shirt of Ryan Anderson, who had to force up a 3, and then great scorers make big plays. Justin Johnson gets the roll with his nice touch off the rim, soft bounce. And hey, we're going into halftime. Everyone's feeling good here for this home squad.
Absolutely, that is the largest lead of the game. Hurricanes by 11, 55-44 heading into the half. Quick look at the stat sheet. Justin Johnson after that 3 with 14 leading all scorers. Actually, no, Garrett Williamson of London is leading all scorers with 15, but Johnson and Billy White with 14 and 13 apiece right there.
All right, Caniac fans, here we got some great entertainment coming up for you in just a moment. But first of all, I'm down here with a couple of contestants, Lisa and Tammy. This is Lisa over here. This is Tammy over here. Tammy is Little Swish's mom. So that's nice. And Lisa called us on Q104 this morning to say thanks for talking about the Hurricanes. She's a super fan. So here's the deal. They both got horns. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to ask them some trivia questions, and then the first person to honk their horn gets to answer, okay? Pretty simple. Lisa and Tammy, here comes the first question. How many home games did we have this season? Okay, you tweeted in already and you didn't even see the answers yet. 20. She says C, 20, is that right?
5 different guys have hit a 3. So we'll see if they continue that.
Yes, it is. That's a point for Lisa. All right.
Absolutely. We'll be back in about 10 minutes with some more stats and analysis of the first half and the exciting conclusion of Game 7 of the National Basketball League of Canada Championship Finals. You won't want to miss it, folks. Stay tuned to the NBL Canada Championship live on YouTube. We'll be right back.
Question number 3.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. A couple minutes before the second half of Game 7 of the NBL Canada Finals. The Halifax Hurricanes finished up that first half on an 11-0 run, sparked by Justin Johnson, and they go into the halftime break with an 11-point lead, 55-44 over the London Lightning. My name's Alan April. I'm here once again with Adam Detien. Adam, talk about that run at the end of the first half. How did the Halifax Hurricanes go on that 11-0 run, and what adjustments does London need to do to get back into this one?
Well, the biggest emphasis for the Hurricanes that got that run going was on the defensive end. Their pressure on the perimeter really increased. They fought through a lot of the screening actions the London Lightning were running through the baseline, closing out the shooters really well. Warren Ward took a tough three. Ryan Anderson took a tough three in that sequence. The Lightning had a turnover, and the Rainmen capitalized in multiple ways. They had a leak-out dunk. You saw Baldry throw it down. They tried to get out in transition one other time. The Lightning fouled so as to kill the momentum. They got some points there. Justin Johnson hit a big three once again after that. And, you know, the Hurricanes, they just took what the offense was giving them, basically all threading from their increased defensive pressure. So kudos to them to close the quarter in that way, and we'll see if they open the third in the same fashion.
Yeah, the Hurricanes really shot the lights out in that first half. 61% from the field, 55% from three. However, the major issue, the reason they're not up a lot more than 11 points, was turnovers. 17 turnovers. They only had 14 as a team yesterday. How can Halifax take control of the ball and stop turning it over?
I think that, well, the biggest thing they're going to talk to you about turnovers is not the guards, which is what you naturally think about. It's the big men. Billy White had 4 turnovers. Mike Glover had 5. So when they're feeding the post, then, you know, the Lightning are trying to dig down or bring the double team or whatever the fact might be. The defense has to be read by that player with the basketball. They need to kick it out, not to the first guy they see, but to the open guy they see, rather than trying to force some passes. Mike Glover in particular hung onto the ball a little too long with indecision and then threw those away. So the turnovers got to stop inside, and the guards maybe, you know, put a little bit onus on them as well. Set some screens, do some more effective cutting. Don't just stand still. Get open for your big men.
Absolutely. Of course, we want to give a shout out to all the fans watching on YouTube around the world. There's a great crowd here in-house at the Scotiabank Center. A lot of fans really excited. They can feel, they can sense that tonight could be the night that a championship is won for Halifax professional basketball. And with that, we're underway in the second half. Halifax Hurricanes up 11. Shane Gibson with it now, defended tightly by Garrett Williamson. Gibson drives, rejected by Williamson. Ball ends up in the hands of Kyle Hunt and then out of bounds.
Basketball.
One thing that pops off the stat page for me is Shane Gibson with only 2 points in that first half, averages over 16 on the season.
You know, Shane Gibson had a little bit of a quiet night yesterday by his standards. He had 11 points. He's an assassin out there.
Billy
But the Hurricanes
White.
go back to what's been working all game. Billy White on the interior. Nice assist from Clinkscales. Well, Clinkscales now has 9 assists, and Billy White has 15 points.
I'll just say one more thing about Shane is not to count him out. No matter what his point total is, he's going to be willing to shoot them in big moments, and he's hit them in big moments in the past.
As Akeem Scott, the heart and soul of this Lightning team, can't get the runner in the lane to go. Kyle Hunt with a touch on the block, spins, puts it up, and can't get it to go. Rolled around the basket. Ryan Anderson brings it the other way for London. Williamson now had an excellent first half, drives, and Billy White will be whistled for the personal, and I believe that's going to be his 4th personal just a minute into this second half.
Well, Billy White showing no respect for the outside shot of Garrett Williamson.
Foul.
He's really gapping him quite far in the catch, daring Williamson to shoot it. That time Williamson drove it right down on him. White wasn't ready somehow and still took a foul.
And despite 4 fouls, we're going to see this strategy. Hugo Lopez once again sticking with his guys. Billy White will remain in the game. Anderson misses the 3, but we're going to get another foul against the Hurricanes on the rebound. Looks like that was on Clinkscales.
Loose ball foul to the Hurricanes, number 12, Cliff Clinkscales. His
London's so active on the
foul.
boards on both ends of the court, putting a lot of pressure on their Hurricanes, trying to block them out, a lot of clutching and grabbing.
And a nice shot,
Warren
the 3
Ward
by
for 3.
Warren Ward cuts into this one, and it's back to a 10-point game.
Whenever Warren Ward has his feet underneath him, he is lethal. It's when he gets kind of on one foot or off balance that he gets in trouble. Halifax defenders have to know that and get closer to his jersey, get him off balance.
Kyle Hunt working against Ward on the block. Ball goes out, and it will remain Halifax possession.
14 seconds.
I mean, it looks like Kyle Hunt is effectively, well, he's being guarded by Maxwell, but he's found himself on the switch, beat up by Warren Ward and Ryan Anderson a lot. How can he take advantage of this? We see Hunt has 9 points so far.
Well, he's not forcing it. You know, the biggest thing for Kyle Hunt, he's 4 or 5 in the game. He's just taking what the defense gives them. Nice aggressive takes. He was unfortunate to miss the last one. I like the shot. Sometimes they just don't go.
Cameron Bennerman for 3, can't knock it down. Of course, Bennerman in the lineup replacing the suspended Joel Friesen. We'll touch on that in a second, as Warren Ward feeling good, can't knock down the free throw line jumper.
I think Bennerman's shot selection has to get a little better. He's 1 for 6. That's a lot of shots for him in any context on this team.
As Billy White can't get it to go, Ryan Anderson gets the rebound. Long outlet to Stephen Maxwell. Maxwell in the open court, can't get it to go. Tapped out, and Shane Gibson comes the other way. Bennerman to White. Oh, the alley-oop a little too high for Billy White, but he brings it down and will go to the line for 2.
That's going to be on Williamson.
London foul number 15, Garrett Williamson, his third,
first trip down,
foul.
as you see, see the pass up top. Hold that one down high off the glass, actually. But the last offensive possession for Lightning, Maxwell got a catch going downhill hard. Thought he got hit a little bit. Instead of keeping his concentration, which really is one of his few lapses, he's done well with that. Couldn't quite find the rim that time, short arm that one. And it could end up being a stop score here for the Raymond, depending on what White does with these free throws.
It's also worth mentioning Garrett Williamson just picked up his 3rd personal. Williamson leads all scorers with 15 in the first half, as Billy White, well, now Billy White has 16 of his own, leading all scorers, knocks down the first free throw. The veteran point guard Akeem Scott out of Philadelphia. And here is Bennerman sizing up Anderson, shoots a jumper. Yet another miss for Bennerman.
I don't like that at all from the Hurricanes. Cameron Bennerman forcing it too much. He's got to realize this has been a team thing the Hurricanes have been doing both nights when they've achieved success. That was a force from 3.
As Ryan Anderson open from 3, and you can count that one.
Ryan Anderson
the knockdown shooter,
Halifax Hurricanes
splashes a 3, and just like that, it's only a 7-point lead. Good job for London cutting into the 11-point halftime deficit.
Yeah, great concentration, great capitalization on the force from Bennerman. Hurricanes give it up. Lightning go down the other end, hit a 3. That's what you got to do there when the other team makes a mistake, take advantage. But I want to touch a little bit on what this timeout I think is going to be for Coach Hugo Lopez. They're off balance a little bit offensively right now. You mentioned the low point total for Shane Gibson. A little bit of that is he's not used to playing this heavy of minutes with Cam Bennerman, nor is Cliff Clinkscales. So it's one thing you're entering it into the post. That's one thing, like you can do that no matter who's out on the floor. But trying to get your spacing in the offensive flow in the half court and knowing where a guy might go in transition or where he likes to cut to, it's a little bit thrown off with this comparison where Bennerman normally plays a shorter amount of minutes. So it's one of those things where they might sort this out or get some specific instructions from Coach Hugo, and we'll see if the offense gets a little more fluid in the half court.
And of course, the reason for extra minutes for Cameron Bennerman, for Shane Gibson, is the absence of Joel Friesen. Friesen, the rookie out of the University of Alberta, picked up his 9th unsportsmanlike foul of the season and playoffs combined. The rule in the regular season is you're allowed 6 unsportsmanlike fouls and then 1 added for each playoff round. So he picked up his 9th unsportsmanlike foul yesterday, forced to sit a 1-game suspension today. I mean, I feel bad for Friesen, a true rookie, had an incredible season, started 44 games after being a training camp cut from the Niagara River Lions, ended up in Halifax, really showed how successful CIS players can be in this league, and he is forced to watch this one, not even in the building tonight.
You feel bad for the young man, as you mentioned, as a rookie, played so hard, has really proved himself as a Canadian product, as a CIS product from the University of Alberta. But nonetheless, you got to keep your concentration. You have to know your status. If you're Joel Friesen, you take an unsportsmanlike foul in Game 6, not only does that eliminate him from tonight, it also really took him off his game last night. Mentally, I would think he'd almost knew that he was going to face that suspension because afterwards he was a little bit rattled in that sense. But as you mentioned, a rookie, phenomenal season. He'll be back. Halifax loves him. Just unfortunately he's not out there tonight.
Absolutely, as Billy White now defended by Akeem Scott, and Akeem Scott is whistled on the hold. not much Akeem Scott can do against Billy White one-on-one, as White has an 8-inch
Fowler, number
height
9,
differential.
Akeem Scott, his
It's remarkable
third,
that
second
Akeem Scott
team
argues
foul.
this stuff. He gets an absolute left hold. So I thought he was going to judo throw Billy White there.
Well, Akeem Scott's a passionate guy. He radiates passion and excitement, and here comes Stephen Maxwell. Talk about excitement in the open court. What a layup by Stephen Maxwell. You see Gibson, smart, didn't jump with him, but it didn't matter. Maxwell able to take the contact, hang in the air, and finish with the left-handed finger roll.
Well, again, points off turnovers. London capitalized, push it in
Returning for your
transition.
Hurricanes,
Nice
number 7,
scoop.
Justin Johnson, and number
You see there
22,
gets hit
Ronaldo
underneath.
Dixon.
Gibson didn't jump, but if you're going to not foul, run right out of the way. He ran underneath the hoop into the path of Stephen Maxwell, who did better.
Stephen
Again,
Maxwell,
we said,
one
can you adjust
shot.
from your mistakes? Missed the last one when he got fouled. Finished this one. Watch Gibson goes right into, clips his left knee, and that's an easy finish.
We're going to see Gibson, who has been struggling so far, as well as Billy White, who has not been struggling. They're both going to check out with Ronaldo Dixon and Justin Johnson, two players who were really instrumental in that Hurricanes run to end the half. And Maxwell converts the three-point play. It is now a 4-point lead for the Hurricanes. The Lightning on a quick 11-4 run to begin this third quarter.
Well, that's the response you're looking for if you're the London Lightning. That could have got salted away with a big start early in the second half, but this road team never goes away, and another turnover.
Yeah, the Hurricanes a bit out of sorts now, turn it over yet again. Here comes Ryan Anderson. Good closeout by Hunt, but no one under the hoop. Stephen Maxwell catches. Dixon thought he had a clean block, but Maxwell will go back to the line for two.
Hurricanes
We're
foul
going to see
number
that
7,
Justin Johnson grabbed Maxwell before Dixon had a chance to block that one. You see he kind of hacks his right arm there, prevents him from getting full extension on the shot. And Johnson, really, he's guilty twice because he let him slip right to the rim behind him, didn't have his arms up to deflect the pass, and Maxwell starting to make a living at the line himself.
Maxwell back on the line now, where he's 5 of 6 after that make in the game. 15 points for Stephen Maxwell, the NBL Canada Rookie of the Year, 6'7" forward out of Cal State Northridge.
So this offensive possession has to be efficient for the Hurricanes. They got to get something downhill. If you're going to kick it out, make sure it's a clean one. Dixon hesitant on this three.
Yeah, but Dixon pulls the trigger and knocks it down. After not playing yesterday, Ronaldo Dixon, another rookie, is having an excellent game. The 6'9" forward out of New Mexico State, the Toronto native, with 7 points now off the bench. And here's Williamson for a three of his own. Can't get it to go. Battle for the board, and it will go Hurricanes way.
Williamson really struggling with his jump shot right now. You can tell it's in his head a little bit that Halifax is gapping him this much. They dared him to shoot it. He took it. It wasn't quite close.
Absolutely, as the Hurricanes on the other way. Bennerman lines up a three, and he hits that one. Cam Bennerman, if at first you don't succeed, try again. As Bennerman, he was 1 of 7 from the field, but splashes that one, and he's got 8 points now, trying to fill in for Joel Friesen.
That was a better rhythm three. Dead straight on. He had some space. He was able to step in with his front foot there. It was within the rhythm of the offense. It was a pitch and catch three that time. He had his feet set. His knees were bent. Better choice from Cam Bennerman, and he's a veteran. He nailed that one. So timeout here for the London Lightning. They kind of sense this is back up to 9. They had a good run. You mentioned the 11-4 start. Hurricanes starting to get a little bit hot here. Absolutely. 3 timeouts in the second half. You know, it's a gamble sometimes when you're going to do this on the road. Coach Julius chooses to do it in the third quarter with about 7 minutes left. But I guess, you know, on the game 7, you're going to say we might need to save timeouts at the end. But if it's away from you at the end, it's double digits. You're not going to need those, and you'll be kicking yourself. So he's going to try to regroup his squad right now, keep this lead under single digits, and keep picking away on the road as they've done in both game 6 and so far tonight.
One thing that stands off the stat sheet for me is the Hurricanes, 8 of 15, 53% from the three-point line. And we've grown accustomed to seeing London shoot more threes, hit more threes. They've got a lot of shooters, but it's Halifax tonight who is 53% from downtown.
And I'm going to say that part of that is you're shooting in your own gym. You know, you get to be here, you play your 20 home games, you get to do some practice and shoot around here. part of taking advantage of that in Game 7 is you're working games 1 through 40 in the regular season. You get the home court advantage. You get to have Game 7 here at home, and all of a sudden you're shooting better than the team who's supposed to be shooting better than you. That's early work in the season paying off here in the stretch. It's a marathon, not a sprint down.
The Lightning trailing by 8, looking to cut into this lead. Oh, Garrett Williamson goes hard to the rack. He is fouled. Looks like it's going to go against Kyle Hunt. It will.
Tried to meet him up at the top of that
Hurricanes
one.
foul number
Followed through
24,
a little bit.
Kyle Hunt, his third 15th foul.
And that's one thing the Lightning are going to try to do. That's already 5 team fouls against Halifax. If the Lightning can get Halifax's bonus quickly and spend the rest of this quarter at the line, that would be very beneficial for them. As Willis lived at the line so far, 7 and 10 in the first half. Gets that one to go now. 8 of 11.
I like the offensive decision making into the timeout. The threes aren't really going for you. Get something, drive downhill. Williamson challenged the shot blocker, and Kyle Hunt and got rewarded.
Justin Johnson with it now. Defended by Ed Wharton. Johnson off to Dix as being great since entering in the late second quarter. Clinkscales now 6 on the shot clock. Going to have to get something up. Clinkscales drives, puts it up, can't get it to go, but Kyle Hunt is. Great play for Kyle Hunt. He now has 11 points and 7 rebounds.
Kyle Hunt really rose up tall to get that one, finish it in, didn't push the body, jumped straight up with smart offensive rebounding. London switching everything on the defensive end, Halifax trying to take advantage of that.
As Maxwell stripped by Hunt. Bennerman up to Dixon. And the crowd goes wild. A big alley-oop. Ronaldo Dixon finishes. He has 8 points off the bench now, and the Hurricanes fans are feeling good. Up 10, 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter of Game 7. Nice pass off to Maxwell, and yet another incredible finish right into the body of Kyle Hunt for Stephen Maxwell.
Kyle Hunt did better to stay tall on that one, but that's just a beautiful finish by
Returning
Stephen Maxwell. And this is what I respect so much about this London squad. I was about to say it's kind of risky when you take your time out and you commit it and the home team keeps their rhythm. That was a big dunk and a big momentum play. All of a sudden, Maxwell comes down off a great feed from Williamson, breaking Halifax down off the dribble, kind of sucks the air out of the Scotiabank setter a little bit, and all of a sudden, London settled right in again.
The Lightning trailing by 8. Under 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter of this one. It's Clinkscales going to the hoop. Clinkscales looking for his own offense that time, taking it at the bigger Warren Ward, and he'll be rewarded with 2 shots.
London fouled at number 10, Warren Ward, his second,
He
13th
was looking for the
foul.
steal that whole time. Kind of got bumped once there, looking for it again, then finally see him reach in right at the end there and did Ward.
Shooting 2 for the
Clinkscales
Hurricanes,
got himself
number
right
12,
in front of the rim.
Clinkscales.
Again, veteran play from the point guard. Choose when to shoot it and when not to. Number 12 has the rock in his hands. The Halifax faithful feel good.
Quickly, I should mention, we are aware we were having some audio issues. Hopefully everything's back and up and running now. Thank you for bearing with us. To the fans all across the world, whether you're at the Boston Pizza in London, whether you're in Spain cheering on Coach Lopez, whether you're in Ecuador, we see you and we appreciate you supporting the NBL Canada in this arguably the biggest game of the league's history. As Clinkscales gets 1 to 2 to go, pushes the lead back up to 9 for Halifax.
We'll see where London goes. Akeem Wright's back into the game. They had him involved in some screening actions to start when he subbed in last time.
Warren Ward with it now, with the step on Bennerman off to Horton. Long 3, can't get it to go. Hunt skies for the defensive board.
Tough shot. London never got anything in rhythm. Halifax busted up any action they were trying to get on that play. Great defense.
Johnson showing off that deadly handle behind the back on Okori. Kicks it out to Bennerman, and they'll reset with 8 on the shot clock. Johnson, defended by Ward, pulls the trigger on the long 2 and gets it to drop. Justin Johnson just so deadly off the dribble.
Yeah, great rhythm. Got his dribble with the left hand, but where's Williamson once
Garrett
again? This guy is
Williamson.
lightning down the wings in transition. He's single-handedly holding London.
Delay
in this
game
ball
warning
game.
assessed
That's right,
to the
19
London Lightning.
now for Garrett Williamson as we get a
Returning for
delay of
London,
game
number 9,
warning
Akeem
against
Scott.
the Lightning. Akeem Scott and Akeem Wright are going to check back into this one. Couple of Akeems coming in for the Lightning.
London going to try to speed it up here with Scott, Okori, and Horton into the game on the perimeter here. See them really increasing their pressure on Justin Johnson. One-on-one coverage now for Hunt.
Hunt kicks it out to Bennerman, pulls the trigger on a three, and Cameron Bennerman feeling good after seeing one drop. He has hit his last 2 threes in a row. Bennerman stepping up big in the absence of Joel Friesen.
Better spacing for the Hurricanes. Hunt looked up. He knew where guys were going to be. They had 3 guys on the perimeter. Bennerman was the open guy, and he pulled the trigger.
Akeem Scott with it now, defended by Clinkscales on that left corner. Scott kicks it to Okori. Okori for 3, and that is good.
Nick
a little bit too
Okori
much space
for
Nick Oskori, the longtime veteran of the NBL Canada.
Gets it back under single digits. Every time you feel like London's on the ropes, they hit a veteran shot. That time it was 3 from Okori.
As Dixon drives, takes the contact and
Counted
finishes.
for Ronaldo.
Well, Ronaldo
Dixon,
after not playing yesterday, he has 10 points on 4 of 4 shooting, looking to go to the line to
London
possibly
foul
make it
number
11.
15, Garrett
What an
Williamson,
impact
his
for the
fourth
rookie
team
forward
foul.
out of New Mexico State.
Returning for your Hurricanes, number 2,
Well, you
Brandon
look into
Boundary,
this
number
game
25,
here and you
Shane
say,
Gibson.
what's going to be the X
Returning for
factor in
London,
Game
number
7?
34,
Every
Marcus
team kind of
Capers.
has that. You know, it's an unsung hero. You hear it all the time. These guys, they might not get the MVP trophy, but
Ronaldo
the team might
Dixon,
not have been
one
able to pull
shot.
the clinching win without them. Tonight, that's Ronaldo Dixon. Kept his confidence, didn't play at all in Game 6. The rotations from the Hurricanes a little bit thrown off with Friesen out and Billy White in foul trouble almost this entire ball game so far. Teammates have stepped up, and this free throw from Dixon, is pure. And hey,
Dixon is actually a tremendous free throw shooter, shot 97% in the season. And despite averaging under 5 points, he now has 11 in this, the biggest game of his young professional career. Okori finds Horton backdoor. Horton can't finish. Ball bouncing near the rim. Who wants it? Brendan Boudry wants it and gets it. Johnson coming the other way. Defended by Akeem Wright. The Hurricanes up 12 with the NBL Canada Championship on the line. They turn it over. Akeem Scott so fast in transition. He is taken down hard, and they're going to say it was on the floor. So the foul against Ronaldo Dixon will give the side out. As Kyle Julius doesn't like the call, he thinks it should be 2 shots.
Well, the reach-in happened just as he was crossing the three-point line there. He kind of lost the play. He didn't start the active shooting until he took 2 more steps. It wasn't the same thing as down the other end, which is what Coach Julius is trying to say on the and one. Wasn't quite the same play. It'll be a baseline inbounds play. It looks like, well, it should be up top, I guess, if it happened above the three-point line, but we'll see where the ball comes in. It is going to be on the right wing. Still 21 seconds for which to work for the Hurricanes, however.
As Akeem Scott, a little slow to get up, but he is one of the toughest players in this league. Scott catches the inbound, looking for a screen, kicks it off to Okori, the hot hand from 3, and he knocks. Actually, they're going to call that a long 2, foot on the line. It is, of course, the orange line here at the Scotiabank Center. And London, with some full court pressure, they're going to call a touch foul on Scott. London looking to put the pressure on
number 9, Akeem Scott,
the full court against the Hurricanes.
Well, Scott did well to force that ball towards the sideline. What his teammate needs to do is get his feet towards the sideline. You see how Capers is late coming there. If Scott's going to force him, you got to step up, get ahead of that play, place your foot on the sideline, put him in jail, and either take a charge or force the offense to turn back into the backcourt. That time Scott reaches in because Capers was late. Full shot clock now for the Hurricanes as that foul was in the backcourt.
Johnson looking to initiate the offense for his team. He has been excellent all finals long. Justin Johnson, the 6'1 guard out of Concordia, California. Johnson with the lob, in for Glover, the beast. Glover rejected by Capers, and Ed Horton brings it the other way. Horton finds Akeem Wright. Akeem Wright with the lane. Beautiful delivery by Ed Horton in transition.
Ed Horton stepping up. Capers just into the game here now, mixing it up. You see him get a hand on that one.
And we see another trap. That time it was successful. London gets the steal, and we're going to get a foul called against the Hurricanes.
Hurricanes foul to number 2.
That's going to be 17 fouls on the Hurricanes. So you see Dixon can corral that one. Boundary reaches out and fouls, and it's going to send the Lightning to the line.
That call will go against Brandon Boudry. That's his 4th personal As Adam mentioned, 7th team foul against the Hurricanes, so the Lightning will spend the remainder 2:30 of this third quarter going to the free throw line. It is Akeem Scott. Actually, they're debating right now who's going to go to the free throw line, and Paul Hansen says, "It's you, Marcus Capers." And they're not happy. Take a look at the stats
Go
here.
to the line for the London
Capers
Lightning to shoot two.
is
Number
a
34,
47% free throw
Capers.
shooter on the season, so you can see why they wanted Scott on the line. He's at 79%. That's a 30% differential between Capers and Scott. And Hugo Lopez comes charging into the front court. He's not happy about something either.
Well, Capers steps up to the line. They're going to say that he got fouled before Akeem Scott got the ball there. That's what they're going to call this foul. There's no doubt that Scott did get hit once he got the ball. Capers was mixed up with Ronaldo Dixon.
As Capers knocks in the first of 2 free throws. Cuts the lead to 7, looking to make it 6. And he does. Big shots for a 46% free throw shooter, knocking down 2 in game 7, third quarter.
Good for Capers. His own team didn't want him on the line. Knocked 2, but another pressure turnover.
Another turnover is right. Going to get a kick ball violation against Dixon. I mean, if you're Hugo Lopez, you've got to figure out how to break this press. And here is their answer. Cliff Clinkscales inserted into the game. The veteran point guard replaces Brandon Bowdery. It's a very small lineup for the Hurricanes. 4 guards.
Kicked ball, London basketball.
Actually, 3 guards with Glover and Dixon.
I'll tell you, the X factor right now in the defense is this guy setting the ball screen and having it as Capers.
Okori, step back, 3. Can't get that one to go. Anderson taps it out to Okori. Baseline, good ball movement by the Lightning. Akeem right with an open 3. Can't get it to go, but Nick Okori is there for the putback. And just like that, it's a 4-point game, and the Lightning continue to bring this full court pressure.
No one in the middle of the court for the Hurricanes to pass the ball to and press attack.
But what a shot by Justin Johnson. Able to break the press, get the shot in the lane to go, and 1. Johnson now with 18 points on 7 of 9 from the field, looking to go to the free throw line and push this lead back up to 7.
And that's a bit of a heartbreaker for the Lightning as Halifax is a little bit disheveled. Akeem Wright wasn't ready for that dribble penetration on the back end, didn't get his body square. Johnson went into the contact for the and 1, but regardless, even if he hits this one, which he doesn't, it's a 6-point ball game, and London is right within striking distance. This is that crucial 2-minute stretch to end quarters, Alan. Let's stick with that theme tonight. Let's see what team takes advantage.
Absolutely. We saw the Hurricanes with a big 11-0 run to end the second quarter. Here is Akeem Scott. Kicks to Okori, the hot hand, and he continues. That's 11 points in this third quarter for Nick Okori. I should call him Nick O'Scory when he's shooting the ball like that. And just like that, it's a 3-point game. Johnson able to get across half, but swarmed by the Lightning. Look at this Lightning pressure D, and Nick Okori comes away with it. Lightning on the break. Marcus Capers with the jam, and it is a 1-point game. The Hurricanes unable to control the ball and break this Lightning press, and the Lightning are on quite the run right here.
Well, finally, Ronaldo Dixon comes to the center of the court here to try to open it up for Clinkscales, but the Hurricanes have been absolutely disheveled trying to break the press. They did such a good job with it yesterday, it's kind of surprising. But the London Lightning
foul number 34, Marcus
Capers,
his first 7th
Now, are
team
you surprised
foul,
Coach Hugo Lopez doesn't call a timeout here and try to figure out this press?
Well, the thing is, Alan, he only has 2 left. All of a sudden, this is a 1-point ball game. There's not going to be too much separation, you wouldn't think, down the stretch in Game 7 from this point. These coaches want to have some timeouts to advance that basketball. In the last 2 minutes on a timeout, you can get it into the front court. Those are going to be key.
Absolutely, as Clinkscales goes to the free throw line on the season. He's a 74% free throw shooter, 1 of 2 from the line tonight. Misses the first. So this is a 1-point game, and, well, I mean, Nick Okori has really been the story along with that full court press. Okori had 2 points at the half. He's got 13 here now with 11 in this third quarter. Clinkscales taking his time. Misses the second one. Ryan Anderson with the defensive board. Ends up in the hands of Akeem Scott, and that's going to be another foul against the Hurricanes. Looks like this one's going against Gibson. Going to be the 5th personal
Hurricanes foul number
on
25,
Shane Gibson. So
his
he's
5th.
got to come out of this one. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I never know when Coach Lopez is going to substitute.
It is. He's very liberal with leaving the players out there. You know, Shane Gibson, an elite scorer, you would think he'd come out with 1 minute left. Yeah, finally, Cam Betterman checks in at the table
for the
here.
Hurricanes, number 14,
But I think the
Cameron
biggest thing, that's a
Betterman.
frustration foul for Gibson. He's coming out of the game
Shooting
here right
2
now.
for
He's
London,
got his
number
jersey
9,
over his
Akeem
face. You
Scott.
can't see him in the shot. But he's not scoring very much right now, and that's a little bit of a hack.
Just 2 points for Gibson, usually the second leading scorer for Halifax with over 16 points per game. Very uncharacteristic for Shane Gibson, and Akeem Scott ties this one up at 80 with 57 seconds remaining. This is going to be another incredible finish at the Scotiabank Center heading into this 4th quarter. Scott knocks down the second. That's only 4 points now for Scott, but he has 6 assists. And again, he is the heart and soul of this Lightning team.
Well, we'll see what Halifax goes on offense in this one. They're going to try to go ball screen with Dixon, although a little bit of indecision with the guards at the top. London showing what looked to be his own for a second, but now they're back matched up.
Clinkscales with it, only 6 on the shot clock, 37 on the game clock. Clinkscales drives, spins, fade away, rims out. Anderson with the rebound. 4 shot for Clinkscales.
So but a 6-second differential between game and shot clock. London going to go fast.
Akeem Scott, oh my goodness. Such quickness, able to get the rebound and finish. Are you kidding me? Akeem Scott just wants it more. He is the smallest player on the court, and he is getting offensive rebounds around
Hurricanes
6'9" guys and finishing over them. What a play by Akeem Scott.
For your Hurricanes, number
Hey,
7,
the Twitter
Justin
hashtag
Johnson.
for London is get struck. You see, he goes up there, rips that down.
Also
Glover
returning for
doesn't
London,
keep his
number
hands
2,
high,
Nick
stays over the
Corey.
top. And look at Akeem Scott. He wants this. You got to believe. And the black and gold have all the belief in the world at this moment.
Akeem Scott on the free throw line looking to push it to a 4-point lead with 19 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Scott hits it, and you can bet
Now
the
returning
London
number
Lightning
2, Nick
fans at
Corey,
the
and
Boston
number 1, Ed
Pizza
Horton.
in London are going wild. They love their team, they love their Lightning, and they love Akeem Scott. He is going to check out for the last 19 seconds of this 3rd quarter. Hurricanes need to stop the bleeding with a bucket.
Yeah, you're going to wait for the last shot for sure, but this needs to be a quality basket. If you don't have anything on the initial penetration, you'll be able to kick that out.
And nearly another turnover by the Hurricanes, but they're going to whistle Anderson on a foul. That's for
London foul to number 44,
believe,
Ryan Anderson, his 4th.
His 4th personal. So Ryan Anderson, who has been dynamite from beyond the arc, in
Shooting
foul
2,
trouble for
number
the second
7,
straight game.
Justin
Very fortunate for Justin Johnson that he gets that trip to the line that he's about to receive, because that was a tight pass. He had to get really low to catch that one the way the basketball was fed in there. It was at arm level for Anderson to give it a poke, but he gets charged with his 4th foul. as you
Johnson on the line. He's been steady. 20 points now after making those 2 free throws, and it's back to a 2-point game, 84-82.
7 seconds, plenty of time to work here for London. Then you get it over half. Quick screen from right.
Horton off to Anderson, wide open from 3, splash.
Ryan
Anderson takes the air out of this Scotiabank
At the
Center
end of
crowd.
3 quarters,
What
it
a
is
play
the
drawn
London
up by
Lightning
Kyle
87.
Julius and the Lightning. What
Your
execution
Halifax
by Ryan
Hurricanes.
Anderson.
How about
82.
the misdirection? They come with right. You think he's going to do on the left-handed dribble on the ball screen. They come up for the handoff instead. Halifax a little off rhythm, thinking it's going to come the other way. Anderson sets his feet and buries it, and you couldn't close the quarter any better if you're the London Lightning.
The crowd here in Halifax is quiet. They can't believe what happened in that 3rd quarter. The Lightning scored 43 points in that 3rd quarter. Are you kidding me?
Well, in a series that's been so tight, the final score yesterday was 93-90. Already in this one, London has 87 points, Halifax with 82. You're going to give up 43 points in a playoff game. You might be thinking about that tomorrow if this doesn't end up going Halifax's way. Despite how bad it feels, however, for the Hurricanes, it's only a 5-point deficit. You got to execute the way London is. You can tell these sort of sets that they executed at the end of the 3rd quarter is well rehearsed, end of game, end of quarter scenarios that Coach Julius has going for the Lightning. Halifax needs to do the same. Coach Lopez has been praised for his work with this team this season. He's been NBL Coach of the Month 2 separate times, led this team to a great record, so they need to lean on his experience, run through their stuff. They're going to talk a little bit about their press offense, I'm sure, how to get it over half court, sort some things out. But mainly, you're right, Alan, get some stops.
Well, the Lightning were red hot. They shot 5 of 10 from beyond the arc in that third quarter, 58% overall. Looking here, Nick O'Corey had 11 in that quarter. Ryan Anderson now with 15 on the game. He had 6. And you look at this Lightning team, balanced scoring yet again. Williamson with 19, Maxwell with 18, Anderson with 15, and O'Corey with 12. And they now have a 5-point lead heading into the last 12 minutes of this one. How can Halifax respond to that end of quarter?
Well, for the first things, you got to take care of the rock. Turnovers has been a theme here for the Hurricanes. They had 6 more in the third quarter. That brings them up to 23 on the night. But part of that is the defensive substitution there. Coach Julius put Capers into the game. Marcus Capers really created havoc with his length and speed, especially in the full court pressure. That was a great substitution. And you got to look at the shooting of Nick O'Corey. You got to close this guy out, get him off rhythm, make him miss some shots, and stay aware of a guy like Ryan Anderson who can also make you pay.
Williamson with it now. Off to Capers, the big dunk, and
Marcus
the momentum
Capers
continues for the London Lightning. Up 7 now, 89-82.
And Marcus Capers fans are saying, hey, he plays offense too. He certainly does.
Oh, and Capers with the huge denial at the rim on Billy White. Marcus Capers last year with Kyle Julius in Mississauga with the power was all NBL Canada defense, and he is showing why down the stretch in Game 7.
A guy who's ready to play at any moment. You talk about these glue guys. His help defense on that last play, I shouldn't say help defense, his one-on-one defense, stayed in front of Billy White, rose up and knocked that one down.
And it looks like Kyle Julius actually collapsed here. We're going to get some medical attention. Bit of a scary moment here in London. As well, you can see on the camera here, there is a bit of a commotion in front of the London bench. Kyle Julius is down. Certainly hoping the best for Coach Julius, and he is up. He's standing. He's going to get checked out by the trainer here, but Kyle Julius takes a hug from one of the Lightning owners. Of course, the Lightning owners are and Commissioner Magley is right there as well. They're tremendous owners. They really support their team. They support Coach Julius, who has had a fantastic job this year with the Lightning. And Coach Julius is going to take a seat, but he's not going to the training room. Certainly a...
Make no mistake about it, Alan. He seems like a cool, calm guy. See Coach Julius, he keeps a very even keel, which is very well served for his team. They feed off that, which is why they play well in these road game scenarios. But don't mistake it for him not exerting emotion. Don't mistake it for him not being into this ball game. He's very committed, as you see how much he's exerting himself physically on the sideline. Great to see him okay.
Yeah, he's okay. He's drinking some water, going to sit for a while, but not for long as the Hurricanes force a turnover. And we're right back to basketball after a bit of a scare on the sideline in this one. Justin Johnson with it, going up against Wright. Johnson looking to stop the bleeding for the Hurricanes. Johnson drives, takes the contact, and finishes. Justin Johnson has been tremendous all finals long. He now has 22 going to the line for 23. And you see Coach Julius wasn't down for long. He's back up and arguing with the refs.
Yeah, he's back up, and he's just trying to tell his team, calm down. That's the first thing he said. He put out his arms, and he said, we're going to calm this down. Okay, Justin Johnson's a great offensive player. He's going to score some baskets. We just got to keep doing what we're doing and executing. Let's see what this half-court set brings for London.
Johnson converts the three-point play. Hurricanes trailing by 4 here with 11 minutes remaining. O'Corey with the step back, can't get it to go. Ball ends up in the hands of Billy White, and Halifax looking to cut this to a single possession deficit.
Well, that wasn't the execution London was looking for. O'Corey just dribbling out at one shot, no pass.
Back to the hot hand, Johnson, and is he ever hot? Justin Johnson knocks it down again. Looking at the stats here, Johnson now with 25 to lead all scorers.
Meanwhile, Halifax smartly finds the guy who's knocking him down. You said the hot hand, Alan. That's great offensive recognition for the Hurricanes.
Anderson takes the screen from Capers. Capers down low to Wright. Wright up and under, can't get it to go. Ball is tipped around, and here come the Hurricanes with numbers the other way. Clinkscales head up as always. Cross-court pass finds Bennerman. Bennerman drives left, dishes to White on the baseline. And that is going to be a foul called against Akeem Wright. And, well,
see if we can get a look at this one. Obviously, the drive in, pass down low. Akeem Wright hits that one. Might have got a little.
London foul to number 25, Akeem Wright.
Well, it's going to be the third personal against Akeem Wright. It is going to send
number 21, Stephen Maxwell.
Billy White back to the free throw line where he is 4 of 4 on the night. And Akeem Wright's going to check out. Stephen Maxwell replaces him for the Lightning. Wright looking to tie this one up on the free throw line. And he hits the first. Billy White, the forward out of the University of San Diego State, where, as I mentioned yesterday, he battled against the NBA Defensive Player of the Year, Kawhi Leonard, in practice for many years.
Billy White's done a great job tonight of keeping his concentration. He's been in and out of the game, not his normal rotations, but due to his foul trouble, so his substitutions patterns have been off. However, when he's been in the game, he's stayed effective. He's kept his concentration and focus level high, and he's been impressive tonight.
So we're all tied up with 10 minutes to go, 89-89. The NBL Canada Championship is on the line. This is what it all comes down to, folks. Don't change the channel. Capers, long two, can't get it to go. Billy White battling for the board, saved, and Williamson nearly gets it to go. But a great job by Ryan Anderson stealing that rebound away from Billy White. Bennerman with the foul,
14,
and Williamson is going to go to the free throw line where he's 9 of 12 on the night.
Shooting
well, Billy White initially did a great
15,
job of blocking out on the first shot. His teammates unfortunately didn't run in there to defensive rebound with him. He was the only guy working. London came up with it. Williamson, the benefactor, now he's 2 shots. It can't be one guy. It has to be 5 people rebounding on the defensive end, especially in crucial moments in the fourth quarter.
As Garrett Williamson hits the first of 2, he's now got 20 on the night. Can't get the second to go, and Glover gets the rebound. Glover's been quiet for Halifax with only 4 points. What a crossover by Justin Johnson. Baseline jumper. My goodness. Justin Johnson is feeling it right now. I think he has the last 7 points for the Hurricanes, 27 now in the game. Capers wide open underneath, blows the layup, and Halifax comes the other way. It's Clinkscales. Nearly stripped. Bennerman, corner 3, can't get it to go. Battle for the board, and it is Ryan Anderson who comes up. Actually, we're going to get an intentional foul. I believe it's going against Glover.
Losing his cool there. You see Anderson a little bit shaken up.
And Akeem Scott.
You get to take a look here, Alan. You see the rebound come off. The foul there, and then just throwing him to the ground.
I think Anderson sold the call a little bit, but there certainly was some contact, and that's what you got to do in Game 7.
And regardless, you're doing that sort of a follow-through in under 10 minutes left of the fourth quarter. Mike Glover, a physical player, that's going to give London 2 shots in this basketball. You just can't give teams a chance, even if he was flopping or not, Alan. You can't give them that opportunity. Now a big moment. London gave up the lead. Halifax currently up by 1 point. Now they have a chance, knock down some free throws, run another set. Hopefully it's a little more ball movement if you're London. That's what you're looking for in your next set. And this is a crucial sequence.
Absolutely a crucial sequence, as Anderson will head to the line for 2 shots, and the Lightning will get possession of the ball, trailing by 1 with 9:17 to go. Now we're all tied up at 91. This could be a big turning point in this game, and it comes down to the Hurricanes' discipline. As Anderson's second free throw rims out, that's a rare miss for Anderson, who on the season is an 84% free throw shooter. And the Lightning will get possession on the side, all tied up at 91 with 9:17 remaining.
Let's see if the Lightning can string a few passes together here on this possession. They got Maxwell and Wright out there together to try to mix up the screens. They
Ryan Anderson can't get the 3 to go. Big rebound by Glover. I'll tell you, those Anderson threes always look good. It's just a matter of the distance on them. And Johnson looks to hand it off to Glover, stripped. Open court foul on Akeem Wright.
Hurricane
that's
foul
against
number
Billy
32,
White.
Billy White, his fifth team
That's
foul.
his 5th personal.
Returning for your Hurricanes, number
Well, that's not a smart
25,
foul
Shane
from Billy White, because
Gibson.
I'm going to say there's 3 other Hurricanes there. If you're looking to stop the fast break, he can't be the guy who does it. You need to talk to your teammates about these things. When there's dead time, whether it's when they're sorting out that unsportsmanlike foul or during free throws, huddle up. Say, if someone has to foul, it can't be me, guys. Now he's 1 foul away from being out of this game, and he's been a huge part of the Hurricanes' success.
And White is going to stay in with 8:47 remaining. Coach Lopez continuing to trust his guys. Williamson on the dribble handoff, drives, finishes, and 1. Garrett Williamson. He has been dynamite driving to the hoop all night long.
Phenomenal action. You know,
Hurricanes
Hakeem Wright
foul
gets
number
it on the
32,
left
Billy
wing.
White.
Knows
That's
he
his
doesn't want to
6th
dribble
personal
it.
foul,
Simply
6th
stays calm.
team
Looks, say,
foul.
hey, let's go handoff. Garrett Williamson comes off the handoff. Wright stays big, makes contact. Help has to come. Doesn't come quick enough. And a great finish at the rack. Potential 3-point play.
Shooting 1 for London, number
Williamson
15,
with
Garrett
22
Williamson.
points back on the line
And
where he's
returning
been
for your
living
Hurricanes,
tonight.
number 22, Renato Dixon.
I hope he has a nice place on that free throw line because he's he's going for his 15th shot from the free throw line of the night.
For one man to shoot 15 free throws is a testament to how his dedication is getting to the rack. Every possession, he felt early on his shot wasn't falling, and he was right in that assessment. He said, I'm going to punch it in there. And despite the gap Halifax is giving him, he's still making something happen.
It's 94-91, and Cliff Clinkscale, knocks down the 3. He is feeling good. You know, he wants to bring a championship to Halifax more than anyone. It's his 3rd season with the Halifax franchise, and he can smell the championship at the end of tonight.
This is the problem with having Wright and Maxwell on the floor. You get 2 guys who are a little bit unfamiliar on the perimeter.
And we see it right there as Wright just airballs the 3. Halifax, the crowd is back into it. 94-94 with 8 minutes remaining. This one's going to go right down to the wire yet again. This series has everything you could ask for as a basketball fan.
Well, Clinkscales and Johnson have been in these moments before and this season for Halifax, so keep the ball in their hands.
This is Dixon working on the low block, misses the baby hook. Nice defensive board there by Anderson, and here's Hakeem Wright working on Dixon, drives. Wow, what a take. Hakeem Wright flips it over the taller Dixon with his right hand off the glass and in. Tough take for Hakeem Wright.
High degree of difficulty on that one. I originally didn't like the shot, kind of rushing it in a tight game, but his skill shone through there.
Here's Clinkscales, defended by Wright. Gets it over to Johnson. Johnson has been great all game long. And we're going to get a foul on Hakeem Scott. Well, if you thought Kyle Julius was down,
London
he is
foul
back
number
up
9,
and is
Hakeem Scott. That's
emotional
his 5th
as ever.
foul,
He really
3rd
didn't like
team
that
foul.
call.
Well, that's only the 3rd team foul on the London Lightning, but that's 5 on Hakeem Scott, and he's asking, what do I have to do differently on that one?
Returning for London, number 2, Nick O'Corey.
And they're going to check Hakeem Scott out. Nick O'Corey replaces him. Halifax looking to tie this one back up or take the lead. Johnson, defended by Wright. 6 on the shot clock. Johnson's going to have to put it up. Takes it to the rim and goes to the line. Justin Johnson is just so difficult to defend off the dribble.
Well, he's back to doing what he does best tonight, and that's breaking people down off the dribble. We
London
see he had
foul
the
number
matchup with the
21,
big
Stephen
Hakeem
Maxwell,
Wright.
his 3rd, 4th
Maxwell
team
just
foul.
got caught too
Returning
deep
for your
underneath the
Hurricanes,
rim in
number
the no-charge
24,
semicircle.
Kyle
Watch
Hunt.
the initial drive there. Great step with his left foot on the right-handed dribble. Put
Shooting 2
Maxwell
for your
on his
Hurricanes,
back
number
hip.
7,
Absorbed a
Justin
bit of contact
Johnson.
from Maxwell as well on that one. Still managed to finish.
Johnson going back to the free throw line. That's going to be the 3rd personal against Maxwell and 4th team foul against the Lightning. Johnson hits the 1st. This game has had it all. It's been back and forth. It's a 1-point game. Johnson looking to tie it back up. And he does. 29 points now for Justin Johnson, and we still have 7 minutes to play in the 4th quarter.
He realizes his running mate Shane Gibson is not having his normal scoring night. Justin Johnson stepping up his game.
Nick O'Corey finds Maxwell. Stephen Maxwell. I mean, he couldn't finish, but just the body control of this guy. Double pumping, triple pumping on these layups. Can't get it to go, but quick with the second jump and the
Hurricanes
offensive
foul to
rebound.
number 7, Justin
Well, it was
Johnson,
such a
his
fantastic
third,
defensive
seventh
challenge
team
at the
foul.
rim for the Hurricanes. You see, jumping straight up is Dixon, keeping his arm on the block, but because of the hand
Shooting
time,
two for London, number
Maxwell's able
21,
to pull that one
Steven
down in the
Maxwell.
air. The second effort, he gets hacked by Johnson underneath. Johnson picks up his third personal, but now London cracking a little bit at the free throw line themselves.
Yeah, Maxwell can't get that to go. Right around a 65. Sorry, so he's a 79% free throw shooter, so that's uncharacteristic. Hits the second, though, and it's a 1-point London lead, 6:42 to play.
Clinkscales looks to the bench for the set. They're going to try to bring Johnson on the right wing.
Clinkscales looking to run Johnson off a screen. Gets it over to him. Johnson, the hot hand for Halifax, steps back, baseline jumper, can't get it to go. Akeem Wright with a big defensive board.
Well, finally, London gets someone to miss a shot for the Hurricanes. Johnson almost buried it, but it popped out. Akeem Wright skied to get that one well.
Maxwell over to Wright. Wright drives baseline and finishes right through Ronaldo Dixon. And that's going to force Coach Hugo Lopez to call his
Hurricanes call timeout.
Second last timeout of this game. 3-point lead, 99-96. London leads it with just over 6 minutes remaining in this one.
Well, this is a curious one now, and I'm going to say, early on in this ball game, London Lightning go on what I believe was a 21-3 run. And Coach Lopez chooses not to use the timeout then. Now he's only down 3 with about 6 minutes left, and he calls the timeout. We'll see if this comes back to haunt the Hurricanes at the end, if they need a late timeout that they might not have. However, if he knows his team best, he's been with them for 40 regular season games, through many grinds in the early rounds of the playoffs, now 7 games here in the finals. He might know this is the time he needs to pull them together and strap up. So we're going to see if he's going to trust his team. We know these fans are a little bit on edge right now, but there's been some exciting finishes here in the past. And like you've been saying all night, NBL Canada ball at its finest.
Absolutely. These two teams, really they've been the top 2 teams in the league all season long, and it's been a long season. These teams got together in late November. It's now June 13th, folks. The NHL is done, yet the NBL Canada is still playing, if you can believe it. It's been this is the 54th game of the season for Halifax. London has played 57. So these guys have been through it all. It's been a long season, and it all comes down to these last 6 minutes. The NBL Canada Championship and those championship rings, brought to you by Barron Championship Rings, are on the line. Who wants it? Who's going to get it? Stay tuned. We'll be finding out shortly.
So Hurricanes going to stick with the front court of Hunt and Ronaldo Dixon. Cam Bennerman has been in the game. He's a little quiet. He had a big impact early offensively. London going to try to up a little bit of token pressure in the full court as well.
Here is Johnson. Big screen from Kyle Hunt pushes Nick O'Corey deep into the paint as Hunt now gets a touch. Hunt spins. Can't get it to go, but he was fouled by Ryan Anderson. I believe that's 5 against Ryan Anderson.
Hunt did that a few times last night at the beginning
foul,
of that play. You saw
foul.
Corey down in the ground. Hunt rolls so hard to the rack.
Returning for London,
Corey
number
tried
9,
to put
Akeem
himself
Scott.
between Hunt and the rim. Took a spill, but unfortunately he didn't earn the call on that one. Hunt fed.
Shooting 2
and
for
a
the
good
Hurricanes,
foul there
number
for Ryan
24,
Anderson. You saw he
Kyle
raised
Hunt.
his hand right away to say, that's my foul. No easy layups under 6 minutes here in this setting.
Akeem Scott checks back into the game. Hunt on the free throw line. His team trailing by 3. Hunt hits the first, now 2 of 3 from the line tonight. 67% free throw shooter on the campaign. Kyle Hunt, the 6'10" forward out of the University of Science and Arts in Oklahoma. Former D-League player, and he has been so important for the Hurricanes all season long.
Well, they're parking the Science and Arts tonight, Alan, and it's guts and glory time coming down the stretch, and these fans are starting to get fired up.
Absolutely, the Halifax faithful cheering on their team with chants of defense. Here is Akeem Wright. Down to Maxwell. Oh my goodness, just for Maxwell to get that on the rim was incredible, but can't get it to go. Johnson coming the other way, defended by Williamson. Gives a high post touch to Kyle Hunt. Kyle Hunt tries to cross over Akeem Wright, rather. Not the move that we've expected to see from Kyle Hunt.
Well, that's a preseason kind of move there from Kyle Hunt to think he's going to cross someone up off the dribble in Game 7 of the finals. I think he's got to get his head checked back in the game here. And he's been professional all night. I'm sure he'll commit back in.
This is Shane Gibson, and he steps out of bounds. Tough night for Shane Gibson continues. Gibson with just 2 points and 5 fouls on the evening. As we mentioned, Halifax's second leading scorer all season long, 16 points a game, just a true three-point assassin, but hasn't been able to get it going tonight.
And it's tough to park him on the bench tonight. Cleanscales is getting his rest right now. Baldry's been tough. He hasn't been able to get a ton going in the second half.
No Joel Friesen, as we mentioned.
And Friesen's been out. Yeah, so, it's the sort of thing where he's got to grind through it.
Oh, Ryan Anderson nearly gets that one to go.
That looked great from our angle.
They all look great when it's Ryan Anderson. And Johnson inside for Hunt. Great catch. Can't get it to go, but the hands on Kyle Hunt are ridiculous. For a man of that size to be able to catch balls when he only sees them for a split second, it's really something impressive. And when he's that close to the hoop, the Lightning have no hope but to foul him.
That was a better pass from Johnson in that it wasn't floating in the air forever. It was a little more straight on, gave Hunt a chance to just go up and corral it in rhythm at a height where he could shoot the basketball, forced the foul. Johnson, great teamwork with his postmate on that one.
Hunt back on the line, just knocked down 2. Knocks down another. He's now 4 of 5 from the charity stripe tonight. Big production from Kyle Hunt as he now has 14 points to go along with 8 rebounds. Hits the second. So it is a 1-point Halifax lead, 100-99. I don't think tonight's a first to 100 wins type of game, though.
Out of bounds, London basketball.
There's a whole lot of basketball left to play. 4:41 remaining. London ball on the sideline.
Nice deflection on that one for Bennerman, trying to break up the handoff. Coach Julius has a play in mind.
It's Akeem Wright dishing it over to Maxwell. Off to Williamson. Williamson has been great attacking the basket all night long. Swings it to Maxwell. Lefty floater in the lane. Stephen Maxwell.
Tough shot. I didn't think that had much of a chance of going in now. He barely saw the rim, but soft touch.
But Justin Johnson, so explosive off the dribble. So good driving to the hoop. He now has 31 points to lead all scorers on 11 of 14 shooting from the field.
You see London slowing this one down, even when Halifax is scoring. They're running through their sets. 10 seconds left on the shot clock now. We'll see what they execute.
Anderson defended tightly by Gibson. Pulls back, 3. Can't get it to go. Justin Johnson comes the other way. Johnson nearly falls over. And he just, okay. He slows it down. He's going to keep possession. I thought he had just handed the ball away. There was no whistle, and Johnson continues to play. Gibson saves that one from going out of bounds. This is crazy. Follow the bouncing ball, and Justin Johnson gets fouled on a 3. He's going to go to the line for 3. That was a severely broken play, but the Hurricanes got it into their hands of the right guy, and Justin Johnson's going to go to the line.
London foul to number 25, Akeem Wright, his fifth, 17th
he almost stopped playing, but he realized there was 2
going to the line for your Hurricanes to shoot 3, number
so
7, Justin Johnson.
There. Somehow managed to get the ball back after Gibson battled with another London Lightning player on the floor. And just an unfortunate foul. Akeem Wright losing his head a little bit. You have to realize that Justin Johnson's guy's a little banged up. That's the end of his shot clock. Deep 3. You got to let him just shoot that one over the top of you. But we'll see if the injury affects his free throws at all.
Yeah, and that's 5 on Wright. We also have 5 on Akeem Scott and 5 on Ryan Anderson. So the Lightning with some key players in foul trouble. But 3 minutes left in Game 7. There's nothing left to lose. You're going to play your heart out, as Justin Johnson has been doing just that. Hits the first 2. He's got 33 now on just 14 field goal attempts. Talk about efficient. And Johnson looking to give the Hurricanes a 4-point lead. And he does it. Justin Johnson, 11 of 14 from the field. Now 10 of 11 from the free throw line. And he gives his team a big 4-point lead. London looking to cut into it. Papers now on the left wing. Williamson defended by Bennerman. Williamson drives. And a big steal by Ronaldo Dixon. Ronaldo Dixon, I was about to say, has been playing great in a high-pressure situation, but he turns it over. And we're going to get a foul called against Justin Johnson. Tough position there for
Hurricanes
Dixon.
foul
Got a
number
nice
7,
steal,
Justin
but
Johnson,
immediately
his
was
fourth.
triple teamed. And he put it right back into the hands of London, where Johnson committed a foul.
Well, watch how close the Hurricanes are to Ronaldo Dixon. He can't pass that to Justin Johnson there. And
Shooting two for London, number 9, Akeem
tough to see on that camera angle, who is also right next to him. There's no way he could outlet that basketball. Poor spacing in the offensive backcourt for the Hurricanes. Johnson forced into a foul.
And it is Akeem Scott on the free throw line. Scott, just 7 points tonight, but he has been the heart and soul of London since he joined the team in January. Hits the first of 2.
And the other thing, if you're Akeem Scott, you haven't got a shot in a while, you haven't seen one go down. All of a sudden, you get to settle in with 3 minutes, 10 seconds left, shoot a couple free throws, and see if he's ready for some key shots down the stretch.
Akeem Scott hits the second. It's a 2-point game now, 105-103 with just over 3 minutes remaining. London back in this full court press. Halifax just gets it over. Bennerman back to Johnson. They want the ball in Justin Johnson's hand. Johnson. And we get a foul away from the ball. It's Kyle Hunt. And it's Nick O'Corey, and it's going to go against Nick O'Corey.
London foul
down
number
low.
2, Nick
That'll
O'Corey,
send Hunt
his
to the
third.
line. Third personal against Nick O'Corey, and Kyle Hunt back on the free throw line where he's 5 of 6 in this one.
Well, Nick O'Corey
returning
was
for
in
London,
tough
number
underneath
44,
there, trying
Ryan
to battle
Anderson.
Kyle Hunt. Took the foul, is going to put some pressure on the big man and knock
Shooting
some
2
free throws down. And this
for the
game is
Hurricanes,
just going
number
slow
24,
right now.
Kyle
London
Hunt.
not panicking, lots of time on the clock. One possession ball game here. Make Hunt knock some down. You have to secure the rebound defensively if you're Lightning, if he does indeed miss the second one. But I think offensively for the Lightning, they need to pick up their pace a little bit. Even though you're running half-court sets, they're a little bit flat-footed right now. The passes aren't quite as sharp. Hurricanes very easily denying because they're the ones with the bounce. They're the ones with the energy. They need to match that energy on the offensive end.
Kyle Hunt hits the first of 2. That's 16 points now for the big man out of Oklahoma. Hits the second. It's back up to a 4-point lead for the Hurricanes. Under 3 minutes to play. The Lightning need to respond here. It's Ryan Anderson taking a screen from Capers. Anderson, defended by Gibson, finds Capers in the key, and that's going to be a foul against the Hurricanes. It's going to go against Kyle Hunt, and that will be his
foul number
4th.
24, Kyle Hunt, his 4th.
Again, a poor foul if you're Kyle Hunt. London once again looked pretty flat-footed.
Shooting 2
The
for
ball
London, number
screen action wasn't
34,
getting
Marcus
too much
Capers.
danger, I'll say, if you're the Hurricanes. Capers catches it. He's got to make you shoot that over top of him if it's Kyle Hunt. Instead, he reaches down low. Now Marcus Capers gets another free trip. We've been saying that a lot, Alan, how these trips to the foul line have just been like almost gifts to either team.
But Capers misses the first. I'm going to quote Chris Croucher, you got to make your free throws, folks. And Capers can't make that one. It's a big moment right now. Every point is so important. The final 3 minutes of Game 7. Capers misses the second, and the crowd goes wild here in Halifax,
Out of bounds,
but
London
it will be
basketball.
London ball off the fingertips of Shane Gibson.
Sometimes the ball just bounces your way. Capers misses 2 throws, gets bailed out. Another offensive set. This one's deeper on the right sideline, below the free throw line, extended for London.
London looking to inbound, get it into Scott. Scott takes a screen from Maxwell, kicks it out to Anderson. Anderson, pull away 3, can't get it to go, and Dixon with a big defensive rebound.
Phenomenal job by the Hurricanes at chasing Anderson off some screens. Whenever he catches it on the perimeter now, there's a guy right within arm's reach. He hasn't shot a rhythm jumper, it feels like, in this second half, is Ryan Anderson. That's a credit to Halifax's D.
It's Justin Johnson. Expect him to take this shot. No, he kicks it out. Shane Gibson, 4-3 when it matters most. Shooter Shane Gibson comes through. And Akeem Scott back like a flash. Man, oh man. And watch out, Kyle Hunt needs to keep his cool as he tries to challenge Scott here. Not sure what happened there. Akeem Scott is just so fast. We're seeing the Gibson 3 on the replay. Are we going to see? Nope, that's okay.
Well, Kyle Hunt, first of all, he said this last night. He took a double technical late. Your team's on a run, 7-point lead. Nothing came of it, luckily for him 22, this time.
Renato Dixon,
you see him
his
walking
third.
over and challenging a guy at this stage in the game. Big man's got to keep his cool.
Absolutely. Hunt.
Let's go back to the Gibson.
They're going to talk it over. But yeah, absolutely. That
Shooting
Gibson 3,
two for
first of
London,
all,
number
an
9,
amazing kickout
Akeem
by
Scott.
Justin Johnson. Didn't even look like he could see Gibson. Obviously, everyone in the building expected Johnson to put it up. And then Shane Gibson, he's been cold all game. He's struggled with foul trouble. But shooters shoot. Shane Gibson.
And the biggest thing is Justin Johnson trusts his teammate. He's not saying, hey, Shane, you had a bad night. I'm going to force up a tough one. He still fed him when it matters most, as you said, in crunch time. But within that went down with 2:08 left. Quick transition for the Lightning. Scott shooting some, only a 6-second transition. London again going to have to speed this game up. They need some stop and score.
Scott knocks them both down. It's to a 5-point lead now. History on the line. The Halifax Hurricanes looking to win their first NBL Canada Championship.
2 minutes
the first for the Atlantic Conference. And Johnson. He stepped out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
An
London
unforced turnover by
basketball.
Justin Johnson off the pressure. And London catches a break with 1:55 remaining. They have a chance to cut this to a 1-possession game.
Well, once again, the Hurricanes keeping the ball on the sidelines in this press break. It's tough to operate. You want to get between the free throw lines down the court. If you extended rails while on the free throw lines, you want to get yourself within that range. Johnson was in jail on the sideline and turned it over.
Here comes Akeem Scott. Oh my, what a attempt. Couldn't finish, but Stephen Maxwell is there to clean it up, and it's a 3-point game. And London continues to trap. Halifax gets it over just in time. 1 second before the 8-second violation. Gibson goes down. Anderson wraps it up. And that's Halifax ball. But this defensive pressure by London.
Basketball.
All second half, Halifax has really struggled to break the press.
Well, it's unbelievable that cross-court pass somehow didn't get picked off. Very fortunate.
Returning for your Hurricanes, number 12, Cliff
Blickscale. For the Lightning to force the alternating possession arrow jump ball. Just going to stay 13 seconds remaining on the shot clock here. It'll be a left sideline inbounds.
And we're going to get a timeout.
London Lightning call.
It's going to be Kyle Julius who takes time. So we got a chance here to catch our breaths, as this one has been crazy. Yet again, everything you could want as a basketball fan, this NBL Canada Finals has delivered. And I mean, I'm almost speechless. It's been so exciting. What do you have to say, Adam?
Well, Coach Julius knows right now where this ball is going to go. It's going to be in the hands of Justin Johnson. He's going to try to make something happen off the dribble or maybe the ball screen. So he knows that within this range, you know, if he hits another 2 or if it's a long 3 for the Hurricanes, it'll serve trouble for London. So he's going to set up something defensively, how they're going to deal with the dribble penetration. He's going to set up the rotations on the kick out. Any sort of defensive moves they have to make will be touched on. And then I assume they won't take another one at this point. They'll have to just get that ball in bounds, and hopefully he'll have a quick hitter again for the offensive end for London. But if you're Halifax, you just got to trust with what's working. Right now it's Justin Johnson off the dribble. What you can't do is crowd him. You can't stand and watch. It has to be other guys working off the ball, keep the help side defenders activated and, you know, occupied with their man, and create some space for Johnson to break them down.
Well, you can see this Halifax crowd is going crazy. It has been everything they hoped for in a Game 7. You know, there's a Game 6 in the NBA Finals tonight, but I'm not sure if it can live up to the excitement of this one.
It's been fantastic. It's exactly what you want in professional basketball. For those who may be tuning in for the first time, or those who are just taking in a London Lightning and Halifax Hurricanes game, whether it be on the web or in the arena here tonight, you're going to be hooked on this brand of basketball. So Clinkscale is going to inbound this one. You see Justin Johnson starting on the right wing. See when the ball comes to him.
Here it is, Johnson with 34 points. The ball in his hands, drives hard, and finishes between Capers and Maxwell. Justin Johnson, incredibly clutch.
Well, Maxwell didn't come to help. I thought he was going to go challenge that one. He thought Capers was going to use his length to block it, but a good finish. Capers in the ball screen now.
Scott drives off to Capers, the big dump.
Marcus Capers.
And it's back to a 3-point game. 112, 109, 114 remains. Clinkscales. And again, London with the pressure. Halifax has to get it over, and Justin Johnson does. Johnson finds Gibson. Gibson, 4-3, dagger. Shane, the shooter, Gibson with the biggest shot of the season for the Halifax
The
Hurricanes.
connection once again, Allen, in a key time.
Akeem Scott with the long three, can't get it to go. Ronaldo Dixon with the huge rebound and immediately fouled. And with a 6-point lead, the Hurricanes and their fans are on the feet. They can sense a championship less than a minute away.
Foul number 34.
It doesn't matter what side of the court it is
third.
from Shane Gibson. He's tuned in at that time, kept his focus on the rim. It was a big closeout from Akeem Wright trying to throw him off his rhythm, but he wasn't close. And we said it, Alan, just at the start of the third, don't count out Shane
Shooting
Gibson.
two for your
When it
Hurricanes.
comes down to clutch
Number 22,
time, he's done it
Ronaldo
time
Dixon.
and time again. And it's in a two-man wrecking crew for the Halifax Hurricanes.
And it's Dixon on the line. Don't want to jinx him, but he is a 97% free throw shooter. Hits the first. 7-point lead now. 51 seconds remaining. 116-109. Ronaldo Dixon has been incredible off the bench. Didn't play yesterday. Today, 12 points and 3 rebounds.
What a great story of staying ready. Ronaldo Dixon, Game 7. And the Hurricanes have been preaching all year their depth. And it's showing.
Well, and London is going to take the timeout, their last timeout, potentially their last timeout of the season, and it's a standing ovation from this Halifax crowd.
Well, it looks like London's going to extend this game with that last foul. They felt like they needed to stop the clock, force the Hurricanes to miss some free throws. Although when you foul a guy who's 97%, that's a poor choice. We assume Ronaldo Dixon's going to stay in the game for that reason. If you're London now, things are going to have to go quick. Whether you don't need a jack threes, go in there, get a quick 2. You're going to need a turnover at least once to get something off here if you're going to make this happen stuck 8. But if you're the Hurricanes, you just need to not foul. If London's going to take their time, be indecisive, let them dribble it out. If it is a 2, okay, that's one thing. Don't foul. Be overzealous on the shot challenge to make it a 3-point play. Smart, disciplined defense. A basket doesn't hurt you. Coach Lopez still has one timeout left. If he chooses, he can advance the ball if you feel like you're worried about London's full court pressure. So the Hurricanes very much in a position of control here in this game. They just need to stay disciplined and execute for the final 51, excuse me.
Absolutely. And back to Ronaldo Dixon for 1 second, another Canadian guy. You talk about the impact of the Canadian players, of course, this is the NBL Canada. When Joel Friesen, Halifax's best Canadian all season long, is suspended, it's Ronaldo Dixon, another Canadian who steps up huge in the biggest game of his short pro career. And Halifax, the fans are on their feet 51 seconds away from their first NBL Canada championship.
Little wheel play here for Anderson. He's denied by Johnson.
Williamson into Capers. That's a quick 2. That's what you want. It's now a 6-point game. London on the pressure D. Trapped Gibson, but he gets it over to Clinkscales. Clinkscales gets it across half into the hands of Johnson. London will foul Johnson, and Johnson is 10 of 11 from the free throw line, looking to add on to his game-high 36 points. If I were a betting man, I'd put $1 or $2 on Justin Johnson for NBL Canada Championship MVP.
Justin Johnson.
Yeah, he's certainly earned that tonight. His numbers are just gaudy. You see them on the stretch. You'll see them now, the MVP crowd from the fans. Coach Lopez says, let's quiet down here, let him concentrate on the free throw. But I'm surprised that the back row of that London press wasn't a little more aggressive coming up, trying to get the long pass for the Hurricanes. They need to go for broke right now. Didn't happen, and Johnson nails the first.
It's a 7-point lead for Halifax. Johnson knocks down the second. 38 points for Justin Johnson, the 6'1" guard out of Concordia in California. Akeem Scott comes back the other way. He's going to go to the free throw line.
Kyle Hunt, he says, what am I supposed to do? And Cliff Clinkscales there says,
foul
just
number
go straight up.
Kyle Hunt,
They'll
his
make him
fifth.
shoot it over the top. If he makes it, no problem. We're still
Shooting
up 6
2
points.
for London. Number 9, Akeem
London still
Scott.
has the foul. Now the clock is stopped, and Scott gets a chance to put some points on the board.
Akeem Scott on the free throw line. Hasn't had his best scoring game tonight. He's got 12 now, but 7 assists. And talk about a player who won't give up until that final buzzer. Akeem Scott.
So Scott makes this one out. Let's watch if the back row of the London pressure steps up a little bit higher. They don't want to give up the home run, but if there's a long pass, they need to be in those lanes to pick it up. So watch Maxwell and Williamson if the front guys do a good enough job.
Scott hits two. This press is huge for London, and that's a quick foul against Johnson. He's going to go back to the free throw line. He might score 40.
London foul number 34, Marcus Capers, his fourth.
Marcus Capers picks up that one. Williamson was set up in a pretty good position on the press. Only a few seconds off the clock, still 31.7
Returning for London, number 15, Garrett
Halifax
Williamson, and number 2, Nick O'Corey. At the line,
Marcus Capers will check out now.
For Hurricanes, number 7, Justin Johnson.
On the line. He's 12 of 13 in this one. Jinxed them. He's 12 of 14, looking to push his team's lead back up to 7.
Well, that's one of the misses London's been looking for. Big block out here on the lane lines.
Johnson hits that one. How about 39 points off the bench for Justin Johnson?
Watch a handoff with Anderson. He's going to get a quick 3.
Anderson can't get it to go. Clinkscales gets the rebound. Shane Gibson is going to go to the free throw line, and Halifax up 120 to 113. Under 24 seconds left.
London foul to number 2.
Gotta think this one's just about over.
Fourth.
You know, Alan, it's interesting. We haven't seen any of Warren Ward here in the fourth quarter. Normally a three-point shooter.
Shooting 2 for the Hurricanes, number 25,
Kyle
Shane
Julius
Gibson.
chose to go big for a lot of this quarter. He had Akeem Wright and Stephen Maxwell into the game together.
Gibson hits the first. Well, Shane Gibson, he only had 2 points coming into the fourth quarter. He's now got 9. And the 2 biggest threes of the game, Shane Gibson in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, his stat sheet might not look great, but if you watch the context of the game, he's been absolutely clutch.
London looking for one last basket. Ryan Anderson lobs to Maxwell.
Stephen Maxwell.
Tough finish on the left side. Halifax gets it in. 7 seconds remaining. Justin Johnson, he might get 40 after all as he's headed back to the free throw line.
London foul to number 9, Akeem Scott. That's his 6th personal foul.
20 seconds left. But it's remarkable how open Justin Johnson keeps getting. He's by far the best scorer, and he kept getting open after these baskets.
And the crowd here in Halifax is giving a nice ovation to Akeem Scott. Anybody who's watched the entirety of this series knows. I've said it a bunch, but Akeem Scott really is the heart and soul of this London team. Joined the team in January, but he has been incredible. Triple doubles, gutsy performances, battling through injury. Tough game tonight, 13 points, 7 assists, ultimately fouls out. But what a leader for the London Lightning.
He's been so impressive tonight. He's done it all in terms of assists. He's scored the basketball. He's been an emotional leader, as you said. He's the glue guy. A pickup in January, a great move from the staff and the administrators of the London Lightning. He's going to help get them to this point most certainly.
Justin Johnson now has 41 points off of the bench in Game 7 of the finals. Talk about clutch.
And people said, are we not starting Justin Johnson? Doesn't matter. He came in as a 6th man and did that.
Garrett Williamson finishes in on the other end. That's 25 now for Williamson, his high game of the series. And he'll foul Gibson. It's 124-117. This one just isn't ending. But
London foul to number 15, Garrett Williamson.
You can't blame
That's
London
his
for this.
6th personal
as
foul.
Now Garrett Williamson will get an ovation as he is just fouled out.
London going to foul to the end. You're going to play this one out. Crazier things have happened. At this point, 10 seconds left. It's going to be a stretch here, especially with one more dagger free throw from
number
Gibson.
15,
But this
Shane
London team,
Gibson,
they haven't
shooting
quit
2.
all season long. They've played 2 of the most impressive road games I've seen here in Game 6 and Game 7. They don't quit for an instant. They don't hang their head. They keep doing what they do. Coach Julius has established a real culture with London basketball, but this Halifax team just too high-powered, too talented, and looks like they're going to overtake them here tonight.
Gibson knocks down the second free throw. Nick O'Corey gets it over to Akeem Wright. He's going to put up a 3 blocked by Ronaldo Dixon. It will be London ball. There is 0.9 seconds on the clock. And this crowd knows it's time to celebrate. And here, that is the final horn.
The
Halifax Hurricanes are your 2016 National Basketball League of Canada champions. 125 to 117. Balloons rain down. The fans are going crazy. And yes, fans, we will have the trophy presentation here from the Scotiabank Center. After a heartbreaking end to last season, the story doesn't need to be retold. Halifax is on top of the Canadian basketball world. Such credit to their owners, to their coach, and ultimately to their players for bringing back a love of professional basketball to this city. Adam, I don't have much else to say. This is incredible. This is history as the Halifax franchise wins their first NBL Canada championship.
It's been impressive on so many levels, Alan. You know, we saw a look at Andre Livingston up there. It's redemption for him. It's redemption for Cliff Clinkscales, who went through some of those hard times last year. This group who's joined them, they have bonded. There's been a real consistency with this team all season long. That's a credit to ownership. That's a credit to leadership, both externally in the front office. You see Coach Lopez, he's fired up out there. But it's this group of guys. They stuck together. Their t-shirts say all business. They treated this with the utmost respect. They played so hard from start to finish in this NBL Canada season. You mentioned how many games, 55 games or whatever the number is at this point is, to stay locked in. But they're going to get to hoist the gold. And how rewarding is this? From a fan base that stayed dedicated, they're getting the huge ultimate payoff here tonight.
Absolutely. Joel Friesen is now out. I think he was watching the game in the locker room, and a lot of credit for this kid too. Had to be heartbreaking not able to participate in Game 7, but this Halifax team, talk about a gutsy performance, talk about a great team, balanced through and through. The bench scoring of Mike Glover and Justin Johnson all season long, the leadership and playmaking of Clifford Clinkscales, the physical play of Kyle Hunt, Billy White, the shooting of Justin Johnson and Shane Gibson. Credit to some of their bench guys as well. Brandon Bowdry, Ty Nurse, Ronaldo Dixon came up huge tonight. And the Hurricanes get to celebrate and lift the NBL Canada Championships trophy.
Such balanced scoring. You mentioned the team now. 6 guys in double digits for the Hurricanes. 41, you mentioned Justin Johnson leading the way. I'm going to push out a guy who's in single digits, Cliff Clinkscales. He has 9 points. We mentioned they don't need much from him. He had 0 last night, 9 tonight, but they were big points. His offense was more aggressive when they needed it. He was a true floor general, and he was one of the X factors we mentioned early that's got them to where they are now late.
Should give a quick shout out to everyone who watched around the world. I mean, we had over 1,300 viewers at our high point tonight on YouTube, and that doesn't count the couple thousand fans in the building, couple thousand watching on Eastlink television. I mean, such credibility for this league. It's growing, and this, I said it from the start, was the biggest game in the 5-year history of the National Basketball League of Canada, and it did not disappoint. This final series has been incredible. The 2 best teams giving it their all. As we now see the trophy presentation to the Hurricanes, we will eventually pass this over to the PA to Commissioner David Magley, I believe. They're going to turn down "We Are the Champions." Just trying to get some direction here, but we're going to stick with you. Okay, Magley speaking.
First of all, what an amazing finals from 2 amazing teams. Congratulations to the London Lightning for the fight that they had all series and made this exciting for all of us. Halifax, it's been a long time coming for you. You guys put together a team early. Andre found a lot of great talent. Coach Hugo got a lot of guys to buy in and play a lot of roles. A bunch of owners stepped up to make this a wonderful franchise, and tonight you all came in and cheered them all the way home. The 2015-16 NBL champions, Halifax Hurricanes.
The Halifax Hurricanes would like to thank...
We've got one more award that we need to give. I think they call him JJ. MVP, Justin Johnson.
The Halifax Hurricanes would like to thank you for your support today and all season. We invite all of our fans to proceed to the court where our volunteers and Scotiabank Center staff will make sure everyone gets to be part of the celebration.
All right, we're going to wrap it up quickly here. From myself, Alan April, from Adam Detien, from everybody who contributed to our broadcasts all year, and to our producer, Sean Seneschal. Thank you for watching. The 2016 NBL Canada Championship is won by the Halifax Hurricanes. The final score, 125-117. Justin Johnson, championship MVP. Once again, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the NBL Canada Finals. And have a great night, everybody.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just another reminder that we are going to set up tables here on the floor in about 5 minutes so you can come down and get autographs from your champions, Halifax Hurricanes. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, autographs will be done in 2 minutes here on the floor. Fans, you are now welcome to come on to the Scotiabank Center floor and get pictures and autographs. Come on down.